exclusive presentation of Sports Vision. The last time the Chicago Blackhawks took to the road, Murray Bannerman faced 41 shots, allowing only 3 goals as the Hawks tied the Minnesota North Stars. The Hawks have only 1 loss in their last 6 road games and 2 in the last 15 overall. Tonight they try to continue their winning ways as they take on the Winnipeg Jets. It's coming up next on Sports Vision.
Home of king-size discounts is Ray Harrah's King Nissan, the Midwest's largest Nissan dealer. Ray Harrah, the king of Nissans, believes nobody sells Nissans for less. Forget list prices on every 86 Nissan truck, standard beds, king cabs, sport trucks, 2x2s and 4x4s. King Nissan truck prices start as low as $64.09. Drive home a King Nissan truck for as little as $99.50 per month. For one of America's hottest selling trucks at a king-size discount, see Ray Harrah's King Nissan, 6200 West 2 next to the Leaning Tower Y in Niles.
This bud's for all that you do. You keep America going. You keep the juices flowing. You are the muscle, the hope and the hustle. You keep the country growing, and you make America work. And this bud's for you.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This bud's for you.
Celebrate the new year with Sports Vision and the best live coverage of Chicago's teams. Celebrate the Chicago Bulls.
Thanks the rebound. Gino trying to follow up off the Woolrich for the dunk.
Sports Vision brings you all the energy and excitement as the Bulls battle several tough opponents, including the Los Angeles Lakers. Celebrate the Chicago Blackhawks.
Troy Murray over the line to Frazier, shooting. He scores!
Sports Vision brings you 7 exclusive live Blackhawk games. Celebrate the Chicago Sting.
Greater Granitza one-on-one. Posted high, goes to Roberts, the shot scored!
Sports Vision brings you live coverage as the Sting tries to conquer the MISL. Sports Vision also brings you coverage of college basketball. In addition, Sports Vision brings you College Hockey USA. And don't miss Sports Vision's coverage of wrestling, boxing, and weekly outdoors programs. Celebrate the new year. Celebrate Sports Vision, Chicago's winners on cable.
He backs it, moving right in alone, the shot! Bannerman did it again! Iceak walks over the line, left it for Sutter, the shot, he scores! Hawks win!
Sports Vision presents the Chicago Blackhawks. This game is brought to you in part by Budweiser, Beechwood Aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And by Toyota. Compare. It's Toyota, not the other guys. See your Chicagoland Toyota dealers. And by your neighborhood True Value Hardware store. And by Chevrolet and your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. And by the Illinois State Lottery. A lot of people have already won millions playing Lotto. You could be next. Lotto, it's a big deal. And by Mr. Submarine and RC Cola. You'll go out of your way to capture the taste of a Mr. Submarine and RC Cola. And by Today's Chevrolet, who invite you to live the style, performance, and fun of Chevrolet in '86.
The Chicago Blackhawks have gone the last 4 road games without a loss and a great stretch of 15 games overall with only 2 losses included in that stretch. Hello again, everybody. Pat Foley and Dale Talon from the arena in Winnipeg. It's been a different story for the Winnipeg Jets. This team, after finishing 4th overall in the NHL last year, now 13 games below 500, and all sorts of problems here, it appears, anyway.
Well, there's been a lot of controversy about some of the trades that Ferguson has made, and I really don't blame him for making some deals because this team has been stagnant. They're 8 wins fewer already at this time than they had last year. They're struggling. They're giving up a lot of goals against. Lately, they've played a little better since January 1st. They're just under 500 by a game. The last 5 games are an even 500. They're trying to cut their goals against down and rely on Howard Chuck scoring and hope that works.
Still, he is one of the great players in the NHL, Dale Howardchuk, and we'll talk a little bit more about him as the game goes along. But now the teams are on the ice. First period face-off is coming up. But first, we'll pause and enjoy both the American and Canadian national anthems.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight
Gossaker and Wayne Forsey.
Murray Bannerman gets the call, his 29th appearance. He's 12-10-4, 4.80 goals against average. Had a great night against the North Stars in his last start. He and Bob Sove have been alternating and has been working beautifully for the Hawks. Brian Hayward, the goaltender, 31st appearance, 7-15-3 and a 5.29 goals against average.
Robert Jesse Pulford sends out the Troy Murray line to open up for Chicago, and Barry Long has the Thomas Steen line on for Winnipeg to start the game, and here we go. Draws control by the Jets' Waters to Scott Arneal. He rolled it to the Hawk line, and it bounces around there to DuPont, and now to Troy Murray. Murray cleared it to Bill Watson to center. Watson shoveled it ahead for Olczyk. Olczyk and Waters bump into the far corner. Watson in after it, too. Carlisle knocked him down, and he fell on top of the puck. And so we get an early whistle. Dale Talon, one of the things the Blackhawks will have to pay attention to tonight is who's going to play defense. Ben Wilson not here, and of the defensemen that are, several of them are banged up.
Well, they suffer the consequences. A rough game against Buffalo, where they were manhandled a bit by that big Buffalo team in a very physical game. Keith Brown with a hip pointer. Bob Murray has a strained right knee. Ben Wilson, of course, didn't make the trip. Mark Bergevin is injured with a Charlie horse, a sore nose, a sore neck, and a sore back, as he was telling us before. Not exactly using those same words as we're using now.
Here's a draw right to Doug Wilson. Oh, he blasted it wide, trying for the top corner. Rebound, Larmer tried to center, but Dave Ellett stole that, bearing it down into the Hog zone. Jack O'Callahan gets back. Put it to the near side, Larmer. Steve Larmer got it to center. Savard deflects it into the Winnipeg zone, and Hayward put it to the near side. Dale Howardchuk had a little trouble in the corner. Shot it to the far side. Savard chasing there. And had it taken away by Mario Marois, who rings it around to the near board, and Brian Mullen on left wing. Mullen gave it right to O'Callahan. Now ahead for Larmer over the line. Larmer moving in. Then he's bumped and couldn't pull the trigger. Puck cleared to the near side. O'Callahan a long shot. That sails wide. And now Ray Neufeld cleared it away for the Winnipeg Jets. Howardchuk over the line. Doug Wilson stood him up beautifully at the blue line and knocked him off the puck. And the Hawks able to clear it to center. Peter Taglianetti, a rookie, is tied up along the boards, and we'll have a face-off coming.
Well, Doug Wilson with an excellent defensive play on the ever-dangerous Dale Howardchuk. Howardchuk, 11th overall in the scoring statistics in the National Hockey League with 60 points, and he's headed to another 100-plus season. That would be his fourth 100 or more point season in his 5-year career.
Ken Yaremchuk between Steve Ludzik and Wayne Presley for Chicago. Laurie Boschman, Jim Nill, and Doug Smale are on for Winnipeg. Here's the draw to Bob Murray. Gave it to Presley, and he rolled it out to center ice. Taken by Nill. Jim Nill coming over the line, knocked down, but Smale carries on, shoots, and a save by Bannerman. He'll hold on and give no rebound.
Doug Smale has excellent speed. Takes a shot from a bad angle on his off wing at the bottom of the circle to the left of Bannerman. Their first shot on goal. Smale coming in last year. Smale, 31 goals. 31 goals, didn't get one goal on the power play, so he had quite a year. Normally in a defensive role, Smale in his previous years in the National Hockey League, and normally a penalty killer. He has great speed, not too many moves.
Here's the draw in the Hawks zone. Quick shot blocked by Bergevin as Jim Nill tried to tee it up. And the Hawks clear to center. Ludzik shoots it in from there. Coming into the near corner now. Ludzik dug it to the line. Bob Murray a long shot. And a save by Hayward. Rebounded Nill. Jim Nill cleared it ahead. Bob Murray broke up the pass nicely. And Murray flipped it ahead to Ludzik. It bounced away from him, though. And now corralled by Murray in his own end. He got it to Yaremchuk. Ken Yaremchuk over the Jet line. Into the near corner. Now Taglianetti tied him up there, and Laurie Boschman came to take it away. Here's Boschman moving into the Blackhawks zone. Near side hit shot and a save by Bannerman. Rebound in behind the net. Bergevin kicks it free in front. Arneal centered one. Smale. Doug Smale was alone for a moment but couldn't hold the pass. Now on the far side, Smale. And he shot it right out to center ice. Jets have to regroup there. Here's Carlisle. He put it back into Chicago territory. Murray Bannerman sweeps it to the near side. Now held in by Carlisle. Here's the shot, and he shot it wide, bouncing right back to center ice. Randy Carlisle clearing it back into the Hawks zone. Taken by Mark Bergevin, and he shot it by everybody down into the Winnipeg zone. This will be an icing call. It's 0-0 early in the hockey game. Back to Winnipeg after this on Sports Vision and WBBM.
Card number, section 31, row 23, seat 1. Congratulations.
The NHL's best perform once again when the Bud Light Legends of Hockey come to the UIC Pavilion January 25th at 7:30. Blackhawk superstars Bobby Hull, Stan Mikita, and Jim Pappin take on other NHL stars led by Gordie Howe. Tickets available at the Pavilion box office, all Ticketmaster outlets, or by calling 559-1212. Also attend the Bobby Hull Benefit Roast January 24th at the Westin Hotel, sponsored by the Chicago Sun-Times. For more information, call 321-2006. Hockey's best are back. Don't miss the Bud Light Legends of Hockey.
Face-off coming to the left of Murray Bannerman, who was the difference the last time these two teams met. The Blackhawks won the game 5-4, but were badly outshot. Face-off to the left of the Chicago goal. Now Thomas Steen is tossed out of there. Troy Murray against Scott Arneal for the draw. Here it is, taken by DuPont. Put it around the near side. Carlisle pinched to keep it in. Centered one. Here's a shot. Steen shot it wide. Rebound to the far board. Arneal held it in. Now DuPont back of the net. Jerome DuPont gave it to Keith Brown on the near side and ahead for Olczyk. Ed Olczyk cleared it to DuPont at center. He shoots it in. Back of the goal, Wade Campbell. Campbell put it to the far side. Arneal on right wing to center. Got Arneal's pass stolen by Brown for Olczyk. Ed Olczyk cleared it ahead for Troy Murray. The pass slips away from him to Marois, and he shot it into the center ice area. Here's O'Callahan back into his own end for Doug Wilson. And back to O'Callahan, who comes to center, flipping it into the Winnipeg zone. Going back, Marois. Marois put it to the near side. O'Callahan holding it in, centered, but that's intercepted by Neufeld in front. Ahead to Mullen. Ryan Mullen shooting it in. Murray Bannerman put it to the far side. Secord clearing, not out. Allen kept it in, moves in, shoots. Blocked by O'Callahan. Rebound, scramble. Hawks clear it away and get it just to the line, but not quite out. O'Callahan gave it away to Mullen. A drive. Bannerman the save. Rebound. Howard Chuck. And it's blocked by Doug Wilson beautifully. And we're going to have a Chicago penalty coming up here. No score in the game, but the Jets will have a power play when we come back on Sports Vision and WBBM.
Between the dream
If I don't sign a pro contract next couple of years, I'm through.
and the reality,
And what happens if you don't make the pros?
three friends are up against tough competition.
I can play the game, and so can you.
I thought you didn't follow hockey players.
But when they're together, nobody's better. Rob Lowe, Cynthia Gibb, Patrick Swayze, Youngblood, rated R. Starts Friday, January 31st.
Jack O'Callahan in the box for cross-checking. He gets the first penalty as the Howard Chuck line has the Hawks under pressure in their own zone.
Broadcast rights to this game have been granted to Sports Vision and WBBM by the Chicago Blackhawks solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without the consent of Sports Vision and WBBM is prohibited. Face off in the deep slot now in the Hawks zone. Here's the draw to Carlisle. Randy Carlisle put it to the far side. Now Steen shot it back of the net. Mullen. Brian Mullen to the line. Here's Carlisle's shot. Didn't get through. Taken by Bob Murray, and he cleared it out to center ice. Randy Carlyle gave it to Steen over the line. Thomas Steen trying to center. Bob Murray blocked it, but Carlyle kept it into Paul McLean out to the line. Ellett centered one, and it was cleared away from McLean, who tried to jam it in on the near side. McLean digging in the corner against Doug Wilson. Wilson wants to freeze it, falls down on top of the puck, and the fans holler for a delay penalty, but nothing called.
Well, McLean had Doug Wilson's stick tied up. He was unable to pry the puck loose. So he did the wise thing and fell on top. There were 3 Winnipeg players around him. Then they all backed off after Wilson fell down, the fans wanting a delay of game penalty.
Winnipeg's power play, 13th in the league, running at 20%. Jets have scored 42 power play goals in their 46 games. Minute and a half to go here in the Jet power play. Face off to the right of Murray Bannerman. Here's the draw. Howard Chuck got it to the line, knocked away to Troy Murray, and Murray able to clear to center ice. Carlyle gave it to Marois. Mario Marois moves over the Hawk line, and 2 players, maybe 3, were offside on the play.
A little too much stick handling by Marois and some good defensive work by the Hawks. Brown and DuPont standing up at the blue line, and the Hawks doing more and more of that, and that's why they've cut their goals against down, and that's why they haven't lost very many games. 15 games ago, they beat these Winnipeg Jets at the stadium after losing a Saturday night game to the Montreal Canadiens. Murray Bannerman was brilliant in the win, and the Hawks have been on fire ever since.
Here's the draw, shot behind the Chicago net. DuPont after it there, has a little room, clears it down all the way. Recently acquired Mario Marois. Used to be with Quebec. He was traded here for Robert Picard. Marois cleared it to center. Howard Chuck over the line. Left it for Carlyle, who put it in behind the net. Now bouncing back into the near corner. Brown dug it out. Couldn't clear it, though. Here's a shot. And a save by Bannerman on Carlyle. Rebound into the near corner. Digging there, Mullen. Brian Mullen to the line for Carlyle. Now Mullen near side. Centered. Howard Chuck, a one-timer, and Bannerman kicked it away. Rebound to Olchek. Here's Olchek moving to center. His lead for Troy Murray just bounced over his stick. Otherwise, he might have been in. And back behind his own net is Marois. Long lead to Ray Neufeld at center. He puts it over the line, but the Jets, Mullen stepped in ahead of the play, and just 3 seconds left on Jack O'Callahan's penalty.
Once again, Murray Bannerman's sharp. The Jets go to the bench talking to themselves, especially Dale Hawerchuk, point-blank range. The shot he let go on the fly, it hit DuPont, deflected right on net, and Bannerman still able to kick it away.
Mentioned that last game that Bannerman beat the Winnipeg Jets in. Winnipeg outshot the Hawks 36-27, including 14-8 in the third period, but the Hawks scored the only goal in the third period, and that was the margin of victory. There's the draw, controlled by Peter Taglianetti, shooting it in. Doug Wilson put it to the far side. Both teams back at full strength now. Smale in behind the net. Boschman put it to the line. Here's a long shot, blocked by Bob Murray at the defense. Comes to the near corner. Boschman dug it out for Smale. Smale tried to center it, deflects up over the glass and into the crowd.
Jets have had 6 shots on goal in the first 7 minutes. The Hawks have a meager 1. And that was a long shot on Hayward. Most of the Winnipeg shots coming on the power play. Blackhawks have yet to send their number 2 ranked power play on the ice.
Face-off will be to the right of Murray Bannerman, who's going after his 100th career win tonight. Bannerman enters the game with a career record of 99, 98, and 23. Here's the draw, shot to center. Presley has a little room coming to the line, but Smale, Doug Smale, got back defensively in great style to break up what would have been a good Hawk rush. And now the puck cleared back into the Chicago zone. Bob Murray chases after it. Now Murray banks it back into the Jet zone. Tim Waters could have played it, so icing is washed out, and Waters gets back to clear to center ice. Now Doug Wilson into his own end, feeding O'Callahan to center. Jets in a player change, allowing O'Callahan to shoot it in. Now back of the goal it goes to Waters. Put it to the near side. Perry Turnbull bounced it to center Arneal. Scott Arneal over the Hawk line, trying to walk up the slot. Doug Wilson tied him up nicely, but Carlisle carries on, moves in behind the net, centered one. Blocked by Wilson beautifully. And the Hawks clear to center ice. Now here's a steal by Turnbull over the line. His shot blocked by O'Callahan after defense. Bannerman poked it to the near side, and Presley able to clear to the neutral zone. Randy Carlisle tied up on the board. Presley stole it. He's hooked. Let's see. I think the Hawks may have had too many men on the ice. What looked like a Wayne Presley breakaway that would have brought on a Winnipeg penalty instead is going to be a Hawk penalty, as referee Hogarth detected too many men out there for Chicago.
The puck
Bob Pulford arguing about it.
Randy Carlisle had the puck right in front of the door, in front of the Hawk bench. Hawks were changing on the fly. Well, not much room for a change on the fly there. There definitely would be extra men on the ice, but they get caught. 11:41 to go in the first period. It's 0-0 on Sports Vision and WBBM AM.
Hi, Pat Summerall. I'm no mechanical expert, but I work with professional quality master mechanic tools from True Value hardware stores. Like the 10-piece drill bit set, just $6.49. Or the propane brass torch with pencil point tip, only $9.99. Get the thermal grip electric glue gun for just $10.99 and a 19-inch toolbox with tote tray for only $13.99. You can do a lot with master mechanic tools exclusively from participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Well, the Hawks get penalized for too many men. Their second penalty of the period, but I really question that penalty with Carlisle being so close to the bench and the puck there and the Hawks changing on the fly. You've got to have some cushion, some buffer area where the player can change on the fly. It's hard to hop over the bench. He couldn't go in the gate because Carlisle was there with the puck.
Well, and Presley, the man who stole the puck and would have had the breakaway, had been on the ice anyway. He wasn't the guy who came on the ice to steal it. He had been there already. But the Jets go back to the power play. Here's the draw to Jerome Dupont. Wasting a little time back into his own end. And Dupont then able to clear it to the Jet line. Mario Marois now starts up. He has room to center and shoots it in. Bouncing into the near circle. Mullen kicked it back of the net. Dupont bumped him there. Now Howard Chuck dug it out. Centered to Ellett. Here's the shot. Knocked down at the defense. Rebound in behind the net. McLean digging there. McLean tied up, but the Jets maintained control. Mullen to the near side. Ellett over to the far point in Marois. Here's a long shot. That sails up over the crossbar. Now Ellett kept it in, put it into the near corner. Brown is there. Couldn't get it out, though. Here's Howard Chuck into the slot, turning into the deep slot. Now walks to the near circle. Howard Chuck still hangs on. Side of the net now in front to Ellett. He couldn't pull the trigger. Back of the goal it goes. Here's Howard Chuck trying to stuff it in, and Bannerman shut the door, hugging the far post. Hawks clear it down all the way. A minute to go on the Jet power play. Dave Ellett cleared it ahead to McLean at center ice. Paul McLean to Boschman over the line. Tied up in traffic, but Ellett kept it in. Deep slot to Marois. The shot. Shot it wide. Came to the near side. Ellett put it into the corner. Bouncing free there to Ellett at the line. Dave Ellett now shoots a long one. Doug Wilson blocking. Ahead to Gardner. He pushed it ahead just too far for Patterson. And the puck rolling around at center. Now Patterson came up with it. Rick Patterson dropping it into his own end to waste a little time. And Doug Wilson cleared to Bob Murray. Hawks playing keep away nicely. And Murray shoots it the length of the ice. Now Ellett to Carlisle at center. As he shoots it in, the Hawk penalty is over. Both teams back at full strength. Steve Larmer put it to the near side. Carlisle held it in. Bounced one to the corner. Now Steen after it back of the net. O'Callahan kicked it away from him. Neufeld tried to center, and Dennis Savard there to steal that, and back come the Blackhawks. Savard racing over the line, lost the handle, and here come the Jets back. Thomas Steen over the Chicago line. Steen into the slot, shoots, blocked by O'Callahan at the defense, and Dennis Savard now clears to the center ice area. Dupont has it there and shoots one in. Ryan Hayward put it to the far side. Larmer in the corner. Steve Larmer tried to center. That didn't get through. Back of the net goes Carlisle, but Savard stole it. Dennis Savard, side of the net, spinning, centered one. Turnbull stole that. We're going to have a Jet penalty. Coming up here as Dennis Savard went down. Ron Wilson will be sent off for the Jets. No score in the game. The Hawks will get their first power play when we come back on Sports Vision and WBBM.
The patented Supernatural from Hairline Creations really works. Even during 60 minutes of hockey, my Supernatural definitely stays secure and looks natural.
In professional bodybuilding, your overall looks count. Hairline Creations Supernatural, I go in looking like a winner and come out looking like a champ.
You've just heard it from the best. So if you're bald, call the best. Hairline Creations, 282-5454. 282-5454.
Let's take 10 for identification. This is Chicago Blackhawk hockey.
Your station for the best in all Chicago sports is right here. Sports Vision.
Dennis Savard takes a dive. Ron Wilson gets a penalty for it. Deep in the Winnipeg zone. That's making up for that too many men call, and then Wilson arguing the penalty, gets an additional 2 for unsportsmanlike. Those penalties will kill you.
Well, the Blackhawks hope so. The Hawks with a great opportunity here to grab the lead. Here's the draw. Shot back into the Blackhawk zone. Bob Murray is back. Hawk power play has scored 14 goals in the last 12 games. Here's Savard racing over the Jet line. Lost the handle, though. And now the Hawks ruled to be offside on the play. A couple of times as Savard has come to the Jet line as he was stick handling, the puck seemed to hop away from him.
Well, Savard using such a small blade on his stick. He has a real light, probably the lightest stick in the game today, and a small blade. And if he gets moving that hand to the stick too quickly, sometimes the puck has a tendency to go over top of it. He loses control of it. I'd like to see him use a bigger blade and a heavier stick, but pretty tough to argue with his success.
Tough to argue with the results. Savard has stretched his scoring streak to 19 games now. That's a personal high. Savard, a couple of years ago, had an 18-game scoring streak, but now he's reached 19. Now, that's the best he's ever put together in his still young career. Here's the puck shot into the crowd. In those 19 games, Dennis Savard with 37 points, including 16 goals.
Savard 7th overall in NHL scoring.
66 points in 43 games for Savoie Fair. Face off to the left of Hayward now. They dropped it unfairly.
I didn't know you were bilingual.
It's about as much French as you're going to get. Here's the draw, and the Jets able to clear it down all the way. Now Doug Wilson has some room as he comes to center ice, feeding Bob Murray, who shoots it in. Bounces around to the far side. Larmer to the corner for Secord. Now back of the net for Steve Larmer. Gave it to Savard on the near side. Out to the line, Bob Murray for Doug Wilson. To Larmer near side. Centered one, Savard put it in front. And the pass didn't get through to Secord. The Jets steal, and Boschman clears it down all the way. 3 minutes to go on the Hawk power play. Now Bob Murray to Bill Watson at center. Watson shooting it in. Hayward put it to the near side, took a funny hop off the boards, but Brown held it in for Wilson. Fires! And a save by Hayward. Rebound scramble. Smale cleared it down all the way. Randy Carlyle may have saved a goal. That Wilson cannon shot was stopped partially by Hayward and trickled past him into the goal crease. But Carlyle alertly there to sweep it out of trouble. Now the Hawks moving back with Gardner. Gardner over the line, lost it. And the Jets, Campbell shoots it down all the way. 2 minutes left on the Hawk power play now. Bill Gardner gave it away to Nill, who shoots it down the length of the ice. Now Keith Brown deep in his own end, ahead to Watson. Bill Watson to Troy Murray. He carries it over the line. Murray into the near corner. Bumped there by Ellett, but Olczyk digs it out. Gave it to Murray. Troy Murray to the line for Brown. Keith Brown into the deep slot. Gave it to Gardner. Into the corner for Olczyk. Now back of the net, Watson centered it. Nobody in the slot for Chicago. Hayward intercepts easily and holds on.
The Jets have done a fine job so far. Only a minute and 30 seconds remaining on the 4-minute penalty to Ron Wilson. The Hawks have only had the one good shot on goal. Wilson moving in, cranked it up. Hayward got a piece of it. It trickled through his pads, and Carlyle saved the goal as Troy Murray had a chance to get the loose puck and put it into the empty net.
The Savard line back on for Chicago. Face off to the right of Hayward. Savard and Boschman for the draw. Boschman won it. Back of the net to Marois. Put it to the near side. It flies free into the Hawk zone. Doug Wilson retreating behind the goal. Now looks to move up. Wilson got it to Bob Murray at center. He sends it in. Hayward out to sweep it to the near side. Steen whacked at it and chopped it to center. Smale after it there. Doug Smale after a bouncing puck. Now he's able to corral it. Comes over the line. Fires it. Blocked at the defense. And now taken by Wilson. Less than a minute to go on the Hawk power play as Steve Larmer feeds Savard. He shoots it in. Hayward put it to the near side. Boschman is there. Clears it to center ice. Taken by Gardner. Gardner gave it away to Carlyle. Breakaway for Smale would have been in. Carlyle missed it with the lead pass. Now the Jets. Boschman comes over the line. Trying to walk in front. Gardner, a hand pass, will stop the play. Boy, oh boy, the Hawks dodged a bullet there as Doug Smale would have had a clear-on breakaway, but Randy Carlyle just missed him with a pass.
Bill Gardner playing the point on the power play. Last man back tries to beat Smale. Does so, but doesn't get all of the pass through the middle. Tried to dump it in. Carlyle intercepts. If the pass is on the money, I guess he thought Smale was quicker than that. And Vanneman very alertly came out of the net and cleared it.
Blackhawks have had a power play for 3.5 minutes, and they have 2 shots on goal. There's the draw to Carlyle. Trying to roll it into the Hawks slot. Brown has it there to DuPont. Now his pass intercepted by Carlyle. He shoots it down all the way. There's Gardner to Brown at center. Keith Brown to Patterson over the line. He had it taken away. Carlyle got it to Dale Howardchuk. And 4 minutes of a Chicago power play is now over. Both teams back at full strength, and the Jets did an outstanding job killing off that disadvantage. Here they come now. Arneal tried to center. DuPont blocked it nicely. Lysiak able to clear it to Rick Patterson on right wing. He shot it to center. Now Lysiak steps over the line. Tied up by Waters. And the puck cleared away to Arneal. Got Arneal into the Blackhawks zone. Now a drop pass taken by Mullen. He centered one. Arneal shoots. Bannerman, a point-blank save. Rebound. Howardchuk and Bannerman poked it away from him. And then Lysiak cleared to center. 2 outstanding saves by Murray Bannerman. And now we have a whistle on the play. I believe the puck knocked down with a stick above the shoulder. No score in the game. 4 minutes to go in the first. Back after this on Sports Vision and WBBS.
Deals? I don't see any deals.
The salesman said this was a deal.
Well, I want more.
Your Toyota dealer's got more. In fact, he's got deals wall-to-wall on every car, truck, and van. Toyota value wherever you look. 2- and 4-wheel drive truck deals, passenger van deals, and their performance deals, sedan deals, front-wheel drives. You've never seen this many deals. Get to your Toyota dealer now for wall-to-wall deals on great Toyota value. Who could ask for anything more?
Larry Long pacing nervously behind the Winnipeg bench. His troops just killing off 4 straight minutes. Short-handed, doing a very effective job on it. Only one good shot by the Blackhawks, and that was by Doug Wilson.
Both teams at full strength now as the Jets' Dave Ellett clearing it down into the Hog zone. Jim Nill hustling after it, saved and icing. Now bounced it free to the line. Marois rolled it around behind the net. Nill. Jim Nill into the near corner against O'Callahan. Smale helped out. Puck bounces free to the side of the goal, and Secord able to come up with it, clearing it out to center. Now O'Callahan into his own end, but the Jets on a delayed offside. The whistle sounds.
The Hawks will be happy to have this period go by with no score and be tied. Murray Bannerman again has been the difference. Boy, he's made some tremendous saves. 2 in a row in that last shift. One on Arneal and then the rebound on Howardchuk.
Face-off will be at center ice as the Yaremchuk line comes on for Chicago, and Howardchuk moves out between Neufeld and Mullen for Winnipeg. Here's the draw, taken by the Jets. Waters. He shoots it in. Mark Bergevin put it to the far side. Ludzik, he whacked at it, couldn't get it out. Came right back to Ludzik, and this time he did get it outside the line. Waters then moved in offside.
So Ludzik paid the price trying to get it out. The puck came around the boards. Neufeld hit him rather hard along the boards and decked him to the ice. Acting captain Bob Murray playing with a very sore right knee. Sometimes when you're injured like that, you probably have one of your finest games because you just do exactly what you're asked to do and you don't try to do anything extra. And you always seem to be in the right place at the right time. Hopefully that will happen.
Here's Keith Brown to center. He flipped it into the Jet zone. Hayward coming out of the net, bounced it to the corner. Watson there, center one. Olczyk tied up in the slot, couldn't redirect it. Now Carlisle put it to the far side. Arneal. Scott Arneal flipped it to center. Taken by Steen. Thomas Steen over the Hawks line. Dupont just took a run at him and knocked him down. Puck cleared into the Hawks slot, and Dupont shot it to Olczyk at center. And Olczyk with 7 points in his last 5 games over the line. Then a pass intercepted and cleared back to the Hawk zone. Keith Brown is there. Brown missed Dupont with a pass. Here's Jim Nill moving in. Moving into the far corner. Brown tied him up there. Turnbull dug it out. Harry Turnbull along the far side. Lost it to Watson. And he's able to clear it ahead to Troy Murray. Murray shoots it into the Jet zone. Marois back for Winnipeg. Clearing it out to center. Now it's shot to an open wing. Bob Murray whacked it to the neutral zone. Taken by Steve Ludzik. His pass intercepted, and Marois chopped it into the crowd. 2 minutes to go in the opening period. Still no score in the game. Back after this on Sports Vision and WBBS.
Give me a light. Go. Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
Give me a light.
Bud Light. So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light.
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light.
Thank you.
Because everything else is just a light beer.
The number 2 scorer for the Winnipeg Jets, Laurie Boschman, with 40 points in 45 games. Ready for the draw against Yaremchuk, and Boschman won it. Got it to Dave Ellett. Cleared it to the far side, Nil. He got it to center. Here's Boschman over the line. Shoots one. Bannerman got a stick on that. Rebound back of the net. Nil digging there. He's tied up. Now puck squirts free behind the goal. Laurie Boschman centered one. It bounces around in front of Scramble. Hawks able to clear it back of the net. Smale tried to center. He hit Nil with it. Now Smale put it in front. Dave Ellett, a defenseman all the way into the Hawks goal crease to deflect it in off the scramble, and the Jets lead 1-0.
The Hawks having tremendous difficulty. It was a 3-on-3 situation. Puck comes out front. Bergman's down, Yaremchuk's down. Smale tries to put it towards the net and bank it off Nil. Bergman falls on top of Nil. Smale comes out the other side. Dave Ellett comes in from his point position. No one touches him, and he just pokes it into the net.
Dave Ellett from Doug Smale and Jim Nil at 18:32. So the Jets draw first blood in the game. Here's the draw. Taken by Dennis Savard in his own end. Savard now wheeling to center. Savard hits the line in traffic center when O'Callahan. He's tied up as he tried to shoot. Savard dug it out to Larmer. Fires. He shot it wide. Secord in behind, trying to stuff it in. And Hayward was hugging the near post. Back of the goal, Savard digging it out. Savard centered it, bouncing around in the slot. The Jets steal. And now able to work it out to center. Here's Ray Neufeld over the Hawk line. Neufeld cuts in, shoots. He shot it wide. Coming to the near side. Mullen tries to dig it out. Howard Chuck centered one. Bannerman blocked that. Got it to Larmer. He's bumped on the board. They wrestle into the near corner. O'Callahan wants to freeze it. Can't do it, though. It squirts free to Doug Wilson. Half a minute to go in the period as Wilson leads the Hawk rush to center. Now he just shoveled it in. Hayward's going to go down and cover it up. Well, I think the Blackhawks will be very happy to get this period over with. It's been virtually all Winnipeg.
Oh, you got to bear down so much those last few minutes. A tie hockey game on the road. Didn't have a particularly good first period. They'd be happy to have a tie going into the locker room. But no, a mental lapse in their own zone, and all of a sudden it's 1-0. And Winnipeg will have momentum to start the second period.
22 seconds left here. Now the draw taken by Boschman. He clears it to center ice. Bouncing around there, corralled by Ellett. Dave Ellett got it to center. Jim Nils' pass bounces free to the Hawk zone. Taken by Troy Murray for Olczyk, but he won't have enough time to do anything with it as the first period comes to an end here in Winnipeg. Well, the only goal of the first period coming late, scored by defenseman Dave Ellett, assisted by Doug Smale and Jim Nil at 18:32, and indicating that the period was one-sided. The Jets had 12 shots on goal. The Blackhawks had 4. And remember, the Hawks had a 4-minute power play at one point during that opening period. So you might be able to say the Hawks are lucky to be down only 1-0. Stay with us now. News, weather, and sports coming up on the radio side. And in a moment on television, Dale will be visiting with Steve Larmer, who has begun to find the scoring range in the last little while. At the end of one here in Winnipeg, the Jets 1, the Hawks 0.
Edge. In name brand sporting goods, the Sport Mart Edge. With the biggest selection and professional advice, the Edge. With low prices every day, Sport Mart gives you the edge. Skate like a pro with the Bauer Hockey Skate at Sport Mart. Made of tough 600 denier nylon, hard shell toe cap, and ICM carbon steel blade. Rugged, comfortable, and only $34.86 now at Sport Mart. For sports, it's Sport Mart.
Come as you are to Schaumburg Toyota's spectacular truck sale. The Midwest's largest volume Toyota dealer is out to sell 100 trucks no matter what. Four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, sporty stripes, aggressive styling. From just $49.95, you may never buy a new Toyota truck for less. From only $49.95. Immediate delivery for Chicagoland's largest selection of new Toyota trucks and spectacular savings. See Schaumburg Toyota, 875 Gulf Road in Schaumburg. Schaumburg Toyota.
It's hard driving and rough riding, and it's never dull. You'll see it all when Ed Bruce, Brock Gates, and Steve Evans introduce you to the people who make it happen and take you to some of the fastest, most competitive, and unusual sports happenings in the country on Super Sports America.
It's Winnipeg 1, Chicago nothing after 20 minutes here in the arena in Winnipeg, and the Blackhawks in some ways lucky to be down only 1-0. That's one of the worst first periods we've seen in about a month.
Well, Murray Bannerman is responsible for them being close. They still had a chance to be tied going into the locker room after the first period, but some bad play, bad defensive coverage in their own zone, something that they have been doing extremely well in the last 15 games, looking after their own zone. Late in the period, and Ella tips in a pass across from Doug Smale, and the Jets had definite control of the period. Even though the Hawks had a 4-minute straight power play, they only had the one good shot. They only had one good scoring chance throughout the whole period, and that came on that power play. Doug Wilson's shot from the deep slot that Hayward made the save on, and it almost trickled into the empty net, but Carlisle made sure of it and cleared it out.
The big thing that strikes me looking at that first period is how well the Jets were able to forecheck. They really kept the Hawks hemmed in on more than one occasion.
Well, the forwards have to be very sharp in this game because the Jets can really skate. They are a much better team than their record indicates. They just had trouble scoring or keeping goals out of their own zone, but they can forecheck because they can skate and they can get on you. If the wingers aren't holding up their respective wingers and interfering with them, allowing the defense to get set in their own zone, could be a long night for the Blackhawks. So the onus is on the wingers, slowing up the oncoming forecheckers. If they can get their sticks into them and slow them up, interfere with them a bit, that'll enable the Hawk defense to have a little more time to turn and get set up.
And tonight is even more important for the Blackhawk forwards to do that. As we mentioned earlier, many of the defensemen, almost half of the crew, is really hobbling out there.
Well, definitely. They'll take advantage of it, Winnipeg, with their good speed. They'll get on Doug Wilson, or I should say the right side especially, because Brown has a hip pointer. He's not at 100% speed. Bob Murray has a strained right knee, so they're going to work on those guys and try to get them to turn and go and get the puck themselves. So the wingers really have to have a good game as far as that's concerned. Slow them up to help out the injured defensemen.
Boy, judging this first period alone, it's amazing to think that the Jets are 13 games below 500. They looked a lot better than that.
Well, they've just struggled. The Hawks struggled early. They've been struggling, but they're in a division. They're in a situation in their division. They get things going, which I'm sure they will. They've got too many good players. If they get some decent goaltending, they'll definitely make the playoffs. So you can't take them lightly, especially in this building. The Hawks have not done well. They've only won 4 games in this building since Winnipeg has been in the league. The last time they played in here was a tie game, but again, the last time in Chicago, the Jets should have won the hockey game. Bannerman was the difference. He was brilliant in the first period, or this could be a 3 or 4 nothing hockey game.
But at the moment, it's Winnipeg 1 and Chicago nothing. Stay with us. Dale comes back with Steve Larmer after this timeout.
This Bud's for all that you do.
They said this city was through. You said, no way.
Each day the spirit's growing. Your pride is really showing. You make America work, and this Bud's for you.
Here's to you. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This Bud's for you.
Michael Jordan. As a freshman, he led North Carolina to the NCAA championship. In the 1984 Olympics, he was captain of the American team that took the gold medal. He's the NBA Rookie of the Year and All-Star guard for the Chicago Bulls. And when he drives a Chevy.
We start with our fresh baked bread.
Love it.
You pick and choose a tasty spread.
Nothing better.
Cheese and sauces and meats galore. Pickles and lettuce and so much more.
More.
Capture a free refill of RC Cola. Buy any Mr. Submarine sandwich and an RC, and the RC refill is on us.
Why don't you capture the taste of a Mr. Submarine?
Welcome back to the Winnipeg Arena. With me in this first intermission, Steve Larmer of the Red Hot Chicago Blackhawks. And Steve got off to a bit of a slow start, and now things seem to be falling into place.
Well, that's true. The last 15 games we've been playing very well, and I think that has to be credited to the coaching staff and preparing us for each game, and to all the players themselves, because they've really pulled together, and we've been working really hard, and I think that's got a lot to do with our success.
Steve, a little bit this year you were playing on the left side. You were doing a good job defensively, but not as effective offensively on the left side. Why do you think?
Well, it's just different for me because, being a left-handed shot playing right wing, I'm used to doing certain things on the right side, and, it's sort of like looking at it backwards playing on the left side, and it was a little confusing in the offensive zone.
What's the difference playing the wrong wing with the left-handed shot? What are the advantages?
Well, the biggest advantage, I think, is in the offensive zone is, your left-handed shot, you've got a better angle, to shoot the puck at, and it's easier, especially playing with Dennis and Al, that, they get you the puck a lot, and it's easier to shoot the puck off the fly.
As young kids growing up, the left-handed shot normally plays the left wing, a right-handed shot plays the right side, and the centerman usually the guy that passes the puck well. When did you start playing the off wing, and why?
Well, I started playing the off wing in Peterborough my first year junior when I was a natural center, but there wasn't any room for me at center, so I did a lot of spot duty on the wings.
The line of Secord and Savard and yourself now starting to click together. It wasn't together for a lot of the season, but things are back into place. Why?
Well, I think we're moving the puck a lot better between the three of us instead of trying to do it all ourselves. And, playing with a guy like Dennis Savard now, we're all good at our own jobs, and I think we've been doing them well lately. And, Al's been getting in there and taking the body and creating a lot of loose pucks for myself and Dennis to come in and pick up. And, I think that has a lot to do with it.
Last year, you almost got to the 50-goal mark. You had a great year, and every year you've improved and gotten better as far as goal production is concerned. Do you think maybe coming into this year you might have put too much pressure on yourself, maybe thinking that you could get to 50 goals?
Well, I never really thought that. I just wanted to, have a good year and, play well. And, just because the goals haven't been coming, I don't think I've been playing real bad. But, I've been getting my chances all year, and the puck hasn't been going in. And, I got no one else to blame but myself.
Steve, you look so cool on the ice. You're one of the coolest customers on the club. Do you get excited at all? Are you nervous at all when you're playing hockey? It certainly doesn't look like it.
Well, I get nervous before every game, and I think that's a good sign. But, once you get out there and you get the first shift in, then you can settle down and, start to think about your job and what you're supposed to be doing.
The goals have been coming of late. You're starting to get average around a point a game and catching up to maybe an 80, 90-point season. Did you have that goal? Was that a primary goal for you?
Well, I definitely wanted to, get around 80 points again. And, I think, if I can pick it up a little bit more the last part of the season, that it'll come.
It seemed that the last couple of years, a lot of one-timer type shots from the top of the circle when, the passes across, and you were shooting them on the fly. This year, you're not doing it as much.
Well, I think other teams are watching for it a lot more, especially on the power play. That used to be one of our plays that we used for 3 years. Dennis would pass it across, but they've been watching a lot more. That other defenseman's not really staying in front of the net. He's stepping out a couple of steps, and, he's forcing us to do something else, which, thank God, it's still working what we're doing. We got the second-best power play in the league, and, we're just working hard at it, and, we've resorted to other setups and different plays.
Steve, the Blackhawks on a roll in their last 15 games, only 2 losses. Any danger of the team being overconfident?
I don't think so, because it fully reminds us before every game that the only reason why we've done so well in the last 15 games is because we've been working really hard.
Goals against have been a problem early, but now they seem to be, that problem's rectified. What have you been doing?
Well, we, it was difficult coming in this year. Paulie only coached the last 30 games last year, and him and Roger, we just sort of, when they came in last year, we just worked hard, and that's, how we just did well because we worked hard. And, this year in training camp, we started to learn a different system and all that, and I think maybe it took us about 30 games to get it down, before we really could start playing it well. And we seem to have got it down pretty well because we've been playing well the last 15 games.
Continue. Good luck.
Thank you, Dale.
My guest was Steve Larmer. Stay tuned. Pat and I will be back with a look at highlights from the first period after these messages.
In addition to the telephone, Empire's now giving away free ski caps with any order. Nice, right?
Right.
And besides the cap and phone with your new carpeting, you get a starting price of only $6.95 a yard installed, with padding.
Right.
You get delivery in 72 hours or less.
Right.
And most important of all, with your good credit, you now have until next May to make your first installment payment.
Right.
Now, what's that unforgettable number?
588-2300 Empire.
Right.
You know, John, I was just sitting here thinking about how much I enjoy watching Babe Winkleman's Good Fishing TV series every week.
Yeah, me too, Dwayne. And I know my fishing's gotten better since I started watching Good Fishing.
Same here. Babe really knows his stuff, especially when he starts talking about catching those big walleyes.
Hey, I got a bite. Any size to it? Yeah. John, get the net. John, get the net!
It's January, and Sports Vision is ringing in the new year with the Bulls, the Blackhawks, and the Sting. The Bulls slam into action against several tough opponents. The Blackhawks take on 7 live, high-energy games. And feel the Sting as they advance in the MISL. Sports Vision is ringing in the new year with coverage of college basketball featuring Northern Illinois, Northwestern, and UIC. Look for Sports Vision's weekly outdoors programs and much, much more. Ring in the new year with Sports Vision, Chicago's winners on cable.
It's the Winnipeg Jets 1, the Chicago Blackhawks nothing after 20 minutes of play here in the Winnipeg Arena. We mentioned earlier that period pretty well all Jets, but the only time they were able to break through was very late in the period, and the goal came from a rather unlikely source, a defenseman who was in very, very deep.
Well, it all came after there was a melee of flares around the net, and the Hawks had difficulty with their defensive coverage, something that they've been successful with the last couple of weeks. Just a mental breakdown. Some things happen sometimes. Some players make better plays, and some hard work by Smale, Neal, people like that you don't expect to score, but you can't relax when those types of people are on the ice, because hard work created the situation. Bergevin's down, your Emchuk's down, Smale picks up the loose puck behind the net, tries to bank it off Neal, go for a lucky goal, then picks it up, comes out the other side. Bannerman was ready to poke the puck away, and as he did, he was a bit off balance, and the pass came across. Ellett snuck in. Presley just doesn't see him. Presley's looking at the puck. He's not looking at the defenseman. Ideally, you'd like your winger to be looking at both, so he's off to the side. He can see the defenseman and see the puck. He wanted more to the side, but he had his back completely to Ellett. Ellett took advantage of it, snuck in, and stuffed it in from the short side and in the crease.
The Blackhawks defense corps, as we mentioned, very, very banged up tonight, but judging from your comments right at the end of the period, it would appear that maybe the key to this game is the forwards. They got to help those guys out more than usual.
Oh, definitely. You've got to slow them up. Don't let them get that step on you so they can knock the defenseman off the puck. It's very tough for a defenseman with his back to the play, trying to get the puck out of the corner when it's nestled up against the boards to try and make a play. And that's exactly the situation that Winnipeg had in that first period. When you turn around and you've got your head facing the glass and the guy runs you from behind, there's not much you can do with the puck if the wingers are up at the blue line waiting for a pass. The wingers have to be aggressive, get in the way of the oncoming forechecker, so the defenseman has enough time to get that puck, turn around, and take a look to see who's coming.
All right, after 20 minutes here in Winnipeg, it's the Jets 1, the Blackhawks nothing. We come back for period 2 after this timeout.
This lot's full of trucks, Chris, but I don't see any deals. Here's one. One? I was expecting more.
Your Toyota dealer's got more. Truck deals wall to wall. A big selection is in stock now during Toyota's wall-to-wall deals. 4x, extra cabs, long beds, 12 models with automatic transmission. And during wall-to-wall deals, prices are automatically negotiable on every van and car, too. Don't miss making your wall-to-wall deal now at your Toyota dealer. Who could ask for anything more?
Household projects are easy when you use quality products from True Value hardware stores. Prepare surfaces for refinishing with the 3M Clean and Strip brush, just $3.44. Seal tile with Red Devil tub and tile caulk or premix tile grout for only 99 cents each. Give any room the rich, flat look of True Test Easy Care Latex Flat Finish, just $9.98 a gallon. And make painting less of a mess with the Easy Painter Paint Shield Roller, only $1.99 at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Give me a light. Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer,
Hey, can I have a light? Whoa.
you never know what you'll get.
Give me a light. No, Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light.
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
It's been called a macho soap opera. Clean-cut good versus evil. The baby faces against the heels. But it's better known as Matt Mania, the wild craze of pro wrestling, and Sports Vision's got it. Tune in every week and catch your favorite grapplers fighting to the brutal finish. It's rude, barbaric, and the hottest sport around. From verbal blows to physical throws, you'll get excitement in and out of the ring. So tune in every week to Sports Vision. Acrobatic, sensational. The new breed of Chicago Bulls are that and more. Tune in for live and exclusive coverage of Michael Jordan and the Bulls all season long on Sports Vision. Watch Chicago's amazing proponent of air travel as he takes off against the best air defenses the NBA has to offer. It's a team with a future, a team with added balance, and a team on the move. Catch the Bulls at their best, only on Sports Vision.
Coming 1-on-3. Neil Roberts, Symington seeking up the near side. Goodinson doesn't see him. Scores! The Sting is sighted!
The buzzword this season is Sting, the Chicago Sting, that is. Tune into Sports Vision and catch the Sting as they wing their way through the MISL's best teams. Coach Willie Roy has his squad ready for another crack at the indoor soccer title. Will the Sting assert their dominance in the new MISL? Watch Sports Vision throughout the season for the answer.
It's the Jets 1, the Blackhawks nothing as we get set to start the second period. A reminder about the Canard Blackhawks Caribbean Cruise. It'll be held June 28th through July the 5th. In-state, call this phone number for information, 498-4470. If you're out of state, you'd like to know about it, the number to call, 1-800-423-4817. For information on the Canard Blackhawks Caribbean Cruise, the Blackhawks Standby's 42nd Annual Trophy Banquet will be held March the 3rd. You can get information at this number, 456-3600. Ask for Ray in room 102, 456-3600. March the 3rd, the Blackhawks 42nd Annual Standby's Trophy Award Banquet. Here's the draw now as we start the second period. Bill Watson in the near corner tried to center. The pass didn't get through, and Waters shot it out to center ice. Here's Turnbull over the line. Perry Turnbull into the corner. Center when Arneal, the shot, and a save by Bannerman. We're going to have a Hawk penalty coming up here. Early in the second period, the Jets are going to go to the power play now. Now Thomas Speed gave Troy Murray a little shove after the play, and a little gathering behind the Chicago goal. But no further developments for the moment. So the Jets will get an early power play opportunity here. And a quick note about every fan who will enter the gate Sunday night as the Hawks meet the Detroit Red Wings will receive a free color poster of the 85-86 Blackhawks, courtesy of Bill O'Rourke and our friends at Coca-Cola, Keith Magnuson, and all that crew.
Troy Murray in the penalty box for high sticking at the 21-second mark. Wednesday on Sports Vision, the Hawks are back at the stadium. They face off against the Montreal Canadiens. Join Pat and myself for all the action starting at 7:30 on Sports Vision and 7:20 on BBM AM. And a reminder, the weather is always unpredictable in Chicago, so you have to stay in touch. You can do that with WBBM AM's Weather Command 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Face off to the right of Murray Bannerman as the Jets gear up the power play for the third time tonight. Here's the draw. Doug Wilson nearly gave it away. He did at the line. Carlisle a shot. Didn't get through. Bob Murray blocked it to Patterson. He gave it back to Murray. And again to Rick Patterson, who shoots it down all the way. Now Randy Carlisle back. Carlisle has plenty of room to center and shoots it in. Going to the far corner. Mullen overskated it, but Howard Chuck came to dig it out for Carlisle at the line to Marois. Marois, Carlisle, deep slot, shoots one, tip, just over the crossbar by inches as Paul McLean redirected it. Now Mullen center with McLean, a tip, and Bannerman stopped that as well. And McLean, a couple of very near misses for the Jets.
Well, you always like to have your defenseman shoot the puck low and on the ice. I guess you can't shoot it any lower than that. Carlisle with a low shot. McLean standing there in front of Bannerman. Bannerman gets a piece of it and it deflects over the, or just wide of the crossbar and the post. Right after, Ryan Mullen with the puck. Turns, reverses his motion, back to McLean, and once again McLean with a deflection.
Face off to the left of Murray Bannerman, who's playing in front of his family tonight. His mom and dad live here in Winnipeg. Here's the draw to the near point, Marois. Pushed it along the boards, Mullen. He's tied up by Brown, but held the puck to the line, Marois. Marois back to Mullen. Here's the drive. That's blocked by Brown out in front, and Savard able to clear it down the length of the ice. A minute to go on the Jet power play as Marois cleared it to center. Taken by Ellett. Dave Ellett, who has the game's only goal, put it in behind the Hawk net. Larmer after it there, couldn't get it out. Marois at the line. Now tees it up, but gave it to Mullen in the corner. Out to the line, Ellett, the shot, tip, and a save by Bannerman as Howard Chuck tried to feed Mullen with a wide open goal, but Bannerman stole the pass.
Bannerman very confident, moving very well from post to post. Once again, it's Mullen back to the point with a diagonal pass. The shot by Ellett, the deflection. Bannerman slides across and then covers up with a glove hand as Howard Chuck tried to pass it out front after the deflection.
Face off to the right of the Blackhawk goal with half a minute remaining on the Winnipeg power play. Dale Howard-Chuck ready for the draw against Rick Patterson. Here's the draw to the line, Carlisle. Carlisle put it along the boards. Now here's a shot and a save by Bannerman as Neufeld put it toward the goal, and Bannerman gloves it and holds on.
Well, those are the kinds of shots you'd like the opposition to take when they have a power play. Bad angle shot. Neufeld from the hash mark after a feed from Carlisle let one go. Bannerman playing the angle well, made the glove save.
Well, you talk about walking into a pressure cooker. All of you know Ray Neufeld acquired by the Jets from Hartford in exchange for David Babich, who was once described as the cornerstone of the franchise here. That's a pretty tough deal to walk into, but Neufeld handled it pretty well. Here's the draw, cleared out to center ice. Dave Ellett has it there. Threw it across to Carlisle. Here's a long lead for Howard Chuck. He moves in. Howard Chuck, the shot rolled it wide, and Bannerman poked into the corner. Bob Murray tied up Howard Chuck beautifully, preventing the shot. Here's a centering pass. Howard Chuck blocked by Murray again. He got it caught up in the uniform and gets a whistle as the Hawk penalty expires. So both teams at full strength.
Randy Carlisle with a quick pass from his own blue line. Just crosses the line, feathers one into the skates of Howard Chuck. Good job, Howard Chuck picking it up, and Bob Murray with a fine defensive play to hook Howard Chuck and not get a penalty as well. Carlisle with another pass across to Howard Chuck. Bob Murray again down on one knee to prevent the pass from going across. He gloved it and fell on top of it wisely as the penalty expired.
Face off to the left of Murray Bannerman with both teams at full strength. Ludzik and Boschman get ready. Here's the draw right to Smale for Tim Waters. Tees it up, shoots, through traffic. Bannerman made the save. Rebound to the near side, and the Hawks clear to center. Presley. Wayne Presley over the line, trying to walk in. Taglianetti played the body nicely, and it's cleared back to center ice. Here's Brown. His pass sliding into the Jet zone. Hayward put it to the near side. Nil. Bounce one to center. Here's Boschman. Laurie Boschman over the line against DuPont. Walks in behind the net. DuPont rubbed him off on the board. Now DuPont corrals the puck and cleared it out to center ice. Presley on right wing. Presley to the line, trying to walk in. And again, he's taken off the puck by Taglianetti nicely. Here come the Jets back. Over the line is Smale into the far corner. O'Callahan lost his stick, but Yaremchuk helped out. Cleared it ahead into the Jet zone. And Hayward comes out to knock it into the near corner. Taken by Randy Carlisle. He feeds to center. And the Jets shoot it in. Into the near corner, Troy Murray got help from Doug Wilson. He shot it over everybody's head into the Winnipeg zone. On the far side, Steen tied up by O'Callahan on the board. And the Jets able to work it out to center ice. Scott Arneal now sends it in. Troy Murray to the right wing boards. Olczyk deflecting it into Jet territory. And big Wade Campbell goes back for Winnipeg. Campbell shoveled it to the near side. Hawks hold it in. Olczyk got it to Watson on the far side. Now Olczyk centering. It deflected back to center ice. Now puck bouncing into the Hawk zone. Bob Murray is on it. Gave it to Bergevin. And he shot it to center ice. Bill Watson turning there. Got it loose to Yaremchuk. Now Troy Murray. Murray moving over the Jet line. Shoveled it in behind the net. Watson now to the near side. Took a hit from Campbell. And the puck cleared away to center ice. Brian Mullen over the Hawk line. Mullen turning in behind the goal against Murray. And Bob Murray able to tie him up and knock him down. Now Hawks having trouble. But a pass intercepted by Larmer. And here come the Blackhawks. Larmer to Savard over the line. Returning to Larmer. Got around to check. Moves in behind. Centered one. That's blocked by Hayward at the goal mouth. And Taglianetti, or rather Merwa, shot it behind everybody into the Hog zone. Heath Brown going back. He flipped it into the center ice area. Taken by Merwa to Dave Ellis. Now it's shot down into the Hawk zone. Here's Jerome DuPont to Secord. And we're going to have a penalty coming up as Ray Neufeld and DuPont got tangled. We'll have a whistle here. Tell you about it in a moment. Early in the second, it's 1-0 Winnipeg. Back after this on Sports Vision and WBBM.
Hey, Kathy, what's cooking?
Well, Hollywood wants to do a movie about my life.
Big deal.
Oh, you didn't see my limousine parked outside.
Sure.
I guess you didn't hear. I won $6 million playing Lotto.
Did you really, Kath?
No, but I couldn't.
Big deal.
Starting January 15th, you'll have twice as many chances to win Lotto because there'll be 2 Lotto drawings each week. One Saturday night as usual and one on Wednesday.
Again, the Hawks get a penalty at 5:35 of the second period. DuPont for high sticking. Neufeld rubbed him off into the boards. DuPont retaliated with a high stick and got caught.
I think we would put that into the bad penalty category, wouldn't we?
Definitely.
Here's the draw. Taken by Carlisle. Lost it as he came to the line. Bob Murray couldn't get it out, though. Boschman into the corner. Now a centering pass blocked by Doug Wilson, and he clears it down all the way. Now the Jets try to move back. Randy Carlisle now moving to the Hawk line, and the Jets came in offside.
Carlisle trying to get to the line to pass it across to Merwa, but Boschman trying to drag that back foot across the line to prevent from going offside, just couldn't hold back. Mario Marois, much traveled player over the years. Originally with the New York organization, went to Vancouver, went to Quebec, traded this year for Robert Picard.
Mainly because the Jets felt they badly needed a right-handed shot on defense, and Picard was a lefty, so they dealt him to Quebec for Marois, who does shoot from the right side. Here's Dave Ellett, who has the game's only goal, shooting it into the Hog zone. Bannerman put it to the near side. Steen holding it into the corner. Now flipped it back of the net, then got it again. Steen to the line for Ellett. Here it comes. Blocked at the Hawk defense. Taken by Troy Murray. He picks the opening and shoots it down all the way with a minute to go on the Jet power play. Dave Ellett clearing it to center ice. McLean to Steen over the line, back to Paul McLean. He rolls it around to the far corner. Howard Chuck centering. He gave it right to Troy Murray. Murray shoots it the length of the ice. Now Dale Howard Chuck, who finished second in the MVP voting last year, comes over the Hawk line. Howard Chuck turning, dropped it to the line. Marois long shot. Bob Murray deflected that into the crowd, and I'm not sure Murray Bannerman was happy to see that.
Murray took a chance there. The waist-high shot, not much on it. But Murray got the stick on it and deflected it into the crowd. 27 seconds remaining on the penalty. The face-off very important to the right of Bannerman. The Jets 0 for 3. Hawks power play in the last 3 or 4 games has not been very sharp, but their penalty killing has been superb in the last 4 games.
To this point in the hockey game, the Jets have 18 shots on goal. The Blackhawks, you can count them on one hand, 5.
Glad you told me 5. I don't remember the shot on goal in this period.
Well, I don't either. It certainly wasn't a dangerous one.
How about this score? 3:27 in the third period. It's 10-5 Hartford.
Here's the draw to the near point, Marois. Marois hanging on to it, pushed it along the boards. Mullen bounced one into the corner. Now it came free to Olczyk. Hey, clears it down all the way. Marois back for Winnipeg. Mario Marois cleared it to center. Dave Ellett shooting it in as he does. The Hawk penalty over. Both teams at full strength. Here's a shot. Bannerman nearly coughs up the puck to Neufeld, but recovered in time to make the save.
Bannerman came out to play the puck as it was fired around the boards. It deflected off the heel of a stick out to the right wing. Neufeld pounced on it, tried to shoot it into the short side, but Bannerman recovered in time to get his body in front.
Since Neufeld came to Winnipeg, he's played 27 games for the Jets. 9 goals, 21 points. For the year, a total of 14 goals for Ray Neufeld.
Scotty Bowman behind the bench, 4-4 against Montreal. Washington in a battle with New Jersey, the pesky Devils, 3-2 Washington.
Here's Bob Murray in his own end, clearing it away to Savard. Dennis Savard in over the line, weaving to the near side. Now looks for a play, tried to center it. Larmer in traffic, had it knocked away before he could shoot, and the Hawks regroup at center ice. Steve Larmer, his pass stolen by Carlisle, coming to the line, shoots one, and a save by Bannerman, who gave it to Bob Murray. Now Savard wheeling to center. His next goal will be his 200th. Savard for Secord. He fanned on his first shooting attempt, and then Waters took it away. Tim Waters got it to Jim Nill, who rolled it to the Hawk line. Now Laurie Boschman back at center. Gave it to Waters. Ahead for Smale. Doug Smale into the Hawk zone. Weaving to the slot. Now far side. Centered one. Rebound in behind the net. Boschman centered one. Smale. The shot. He missed the net. Rebound in behind the goal. Arneal centered. Bouncing free to Ludzik. Couldn't get it out. In the near corner, Savard bangs it around to the far side. Smale held it in. Poked it in behind the net. Arneal. Got Arneal centered one. Brown stole that to Ludzik. He pushed it out to center. Here's Savard. 2-on-2 over the line. Crisscrossing to Larmer. The shot. Hayward the save. And the rebound to the Jets. Arneal on the near side. Got Arneal beating Doug Smale. Now Steen. Thomas Steen to Arneal over the line. Lost the handle as he was ready to shoot. Puck cleared to the near side. Taken by Steen. His pass intercepted by Yaremchuk to Steve Ludzik. Couldn't get it out. Marois poked it back to that. Hawks having loads of trouble in their own end most of this game. Here the Jets moving in again. Turnbull, a shot, blocked, rebound. Taken by Presley. 3 players inside the Hawk goal, a drive. Bannerman made the save. He's lost his stick. Rebound to Ken Yaremchuk. And now Yaremchuk finally gets it to center. He hits the line. Yaremchuk turning, threw it into the corner. And the Jets, Marois takes over there. Gave it to Dave Ellis. Ellis shot it to the Chicago zone. Taken by Watson. Bill Watson back to center ice. His pass intercepted. Now the Hawks able to shoot it in. But a whistle, and I think they got caught with too many men again. For the second time in the game, the Blackhawks will get a bench penalty. It's 1-0 Winnipeg. Back after this on Sports Vision of WBBM.
Witness the birth of a bright new star, created through the joint effort of General Motors and Toyota. Nova, from today's Chevrolet. Nova, the best of both worlds, with room and comfort, attention to details, and responsive performance. New Nova, from today's Chevrolet. It's not just better, it's the best of both worlds.
Drive today's Chevy, live today's Chevy.
Nova.
Well, the Hawks really asking for trouble. The second time in this game they've been caught with too many men on the ice. And the third straight penalty of the period. They're having enough trouble 5-on-5. 21 Winnipeg shots, 6 Chicago shots. And only one to speak of in this period, Steve Larmer's high shot from the top of the circle.
Jets right back to the power play. Here's the draw. Controlled by Winnipeg. Randy Carlyle. He's logged an awful lot of ice time already in the game, clearing it to the Hawk line. Howard Chuck has it there. Over to the far side, Carlyle at center. Randy Carlyle shovels it in. Going back, DuPont flipped it to the far side, gave it right to McLean. McLean side of the net, shoots, and a save by Bannerman. Rebound, Howard Chuck. Gave it to Mullen. Ryan Mullen to Dale Howard-Chuck. Out to the line, Carlyle. Near point, Marois. Shooting. Blocked at the defense by DuPont. Back of the goal, Howard-Chuck. Works it to the far point, Carlyle. Gave it back to the star centerman, Howard-Chuck. Now to the line, and Marois. Here's the drive. Deflected wide up off the glass. Rebound in behind the net. Howard-Chuck dug it out. Howard-Chuck right into the slot, knocked down, but he feeds Carlyle. Shooting, and a save by Bannerman. Rebound, Howard-Chuck, the drive. Save by Bannerman again. And Brian Mullen will see that open goal in his nightmares tonight.
The Jets getting to every loose puck on this power play. Outskating the Hawks at every opportunity. Howard-Chuck gets it to Mullen. Mullen off his right skate, unable to corral the pass. And Bannerman able to recover and get the skate and pad in front of the potential shot.
Boy, Dale, not only has Bannerman played an outstanding game to keep the Hawks in it, but he's made an awful lot of saves in traffic. The Hawks have done very little in terms of clearing the front of their net. I think Bannerman was just arguing with referee Hogarth about a couple of saves he made in that last sequence with a Jet player draped all over it. A minute left on the Winnipeg power play. Here's the draw. Neufeld near corner tied up. Troy Murray took it away but lost it to Boschman. Boschman far corner. Now flipped it back of the net. Neufeld centered one. Boschman couldn't pull the trigger. Weaving to the far side. Flipped it into the corner. Ray Neufeld. Back to Boschman. Out to the line for Ellett. Couldn't hold it in. And the Jets have to regroup at center ice. Here's Troy Murray stealing one. Comes over the line, but he's knocked down. And Boschman starts the Jets back. Laurie Boschman into the Hawk zone. Got around one check. Then dropped it for Ellett, who shoveled it back of the goal. Bannerman chopped it to the near side. Taken by Olczyk. And he clears it down all the way. Now the Jets clearing it into the Hawk zone again. As they do, the Hawk penalty over. Both teams at full strength. In the near corner, a couple of players battling. Savard got it and shoots it by everybody. This will be an icing call against Chicago. 7.5 to go in the second. This game moving right along. It's 1-0 Winnipeg. Back in a moment on Sports Vision and WBBM.
We start with our fresh baked bread.
Love it.
You pick and choose a tasty spread.
Nothing better.
Cheese and sauces and meats galore. Pickles and lettuce and so much more.
More.
Capture a free refill of RC Cola. Buy any Mr. Submarine sandwich and an RC, and the RC refill is on us.
Why don't you capture the taste of a Mr. Submarine?
Pat Foley and Dale Talon back in a good place to be from. Winnipeg.
The Hawks right now lucky to have nothing. 1-0 Winnipeg. 24-6 the shots. And that is indicative of the play.
Here's Tim Waters at the near point. Moving into the corner. Waters tried to center. Doug Wilson blocked that. Got it to Savard, but he couldn't clear it. Back into the corner it goes. Secord digs it out of there. Gave it to Doug Wilson. Wilson feeding Jack O'Callahan to center. Now Larmer over the line. Centered one. O'Callahan couldn't hang on to it. And taken away by Waters. Tim Waters couldn't get it out. Back of the goal it goes. Waters has it again to Carlisle. And here come the Jets to center. Doug Smale racing over the line. Smale centered one. Doug Wilson stealing that. And we're going to have a penalty against Winnipeg coming up. A delayed call as the Hawks dump it in. And the whistle now will sound as Waters gains control. With the score 1-0 Winnipeg, the Hawks with a power play when we come back on Sports Vision and WBBM.
Lots of people going to Florida choose a rent-a-car company by comparing rates.
Hello, what's your rate? Uh-huh. What's your rate? Yeah, what's your rate?
But these days, everyone offers low rates in Florida, so it pays to compare services.
What do you get for that? Uh-huh. What do you get? What do you get?
Hertz offers computerized driving directions, 24-hour road service, and there's never a drop-off charge in Florida. So come to Hertz. The services add up, but your bill won't. Hertz, you don't just rent a car, you rent a company.
The first Winnipeg penalty of the period. Ron Wilson in the penalty box for slashing. He can't believe it, neither can I. He accidentally was shoved into Murray Bannerman. Hit the pads of Bannerman with a stick as he was flailing to get his balance. And he gets a penalty.
Hawks go to the power play. Here's Olczyk at the near point. And Olczyk a long shot blocked at the defense, taken by Boschman. And Laurie Boschman moves back into Chicago territory, trying to cut for the net. Olczyk able to poke it away nicely. Now Bill Watson, a local boy, starts back to Troy Murray. Murray over the Winnipeg line, centered one, blocked by Marois in front, cleared to the line. Brown kept it in for Olczyk. He had a great chance to shoot, but was reluctant, and the Jets clear it to center. Olczyk shooting it back in. On the far side, Troy Murray. Murray poked it back of the net. Marois there, tied up by Lysiak. And puck squirts up over the glass and into the crowd. Let's take 10 for identification. This is Chicago Blackhawk hockey.
The station that brings you the Bulls, the Blackhawks, the White Sox, and the Sting. Sports Vision.
.116 left on a Chicago power play. Face-off will be to the left of 25-year-old Brian Hayward, who played his college hockey at Cornell University, one of many college players in the Jet lineup tonight and right down through the Winnipeg organization. His main duty tonight has been to stay awake. Face off to his left. There's the draw. Going behind the net, Marois. He clears it down all the way. Bob Murray back. And he has a little room starting out. Shoveled it to center, Savard. Then a Savard lost it as he came to the line. Now Doug Wilson gave it to Murray. Bob Murray shoots it in around to the near board. Savard deflects it free, but it came out to center ice. Taken by Steve Larmer with 40 seconds left on the Hawk power play. Bob Murray's pass is intercepted, and he gets it back at center ice. Now Howard Chuck stealing. Gave it to Marois. He feeds to Howard Chuck, who moves over the line, near side, stopping, shooting, and a safe rebound. Bouncing into the air, in behind the net. Now a shot hit the side of the goal. Mail nearly scored a shorthander. Now the Hawks break back. Dennis Savard crossing the line, near side, stopping, centering to the line. Brown gave it back to Savard. Shoot! And he hit the side of the goal with it. Rebound to Howard Chuck. He clears it down all the way. That does it for the Hawk power play. Both teams back at full strength. Now it's center ice. Here's Arneal moving over the line. Shoots one. Bannerman the save. Rebound far corner. Arneal dug it out to Ellett. His shot is blocked. Right to the Jets nil, but he had his pass deflect back into the center ice area. Boschman moving in, then flipped it behind the Hawk goal. Bannerman whacked it to the near side. Boschman holding it in, got it to the corner. Arneal against Yaremchuk there, and Yaremchuk won the battle. Then Yaremchuk able to clear out to center ice. 4 minutes to go in the second period. Still a 1-0 Jet lead, and now a two-line pass whistled against Winnipeg. 1-0 Jets. Back in a moment on Sports Vision and WBBM.
This fight for all that you do, somehow you always come through. You keep it going, your pride's really showing. Nobody shines like you, yeah, you make America work, and this fight's for you.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This fight's for you.
Hartford 11, Quebec 6. Still plenty of time to go in the third. Islanders knock off Philadelphia, come from behind, 3 unanswered goals.
Now the draw into the Winnipeg zone. Bergevin flips it over to the far corner. Taglianetti after it there. Rubbed off by Troy Murray, but then a pass just too far for Watson. And Arneal cleared it to center ice. Troy Murray turns in his own end. Gave it away to Arneal, but then Bannerman dove out. Now Arneal back of the net, tried to center. Bob Murray blocked that nicely, and he covers it up. Boy, oh boy. The Jets supposedly are the team that's been having trouble in their own zone with their last cold spell, but tonight the Hawks have looked like the Keystone Cops in their own end.
Well, that time they tried to pass it through Arneal and was intercepted. Buffalo, an overtime victory. Gates Orlando gets his 10th of the year to win it in overtime. Washington comes from behind. Jersey had them 2-0 or 2-1, or they had them 2-0. Washington came from behind to beat them 4-3.
You mentioned the Buffalo victory. In case you may have missed the news, Scotty Bowman back behind the Sabre bench beginning tonight is Jim Schoenfeld, the rookie coach, fired after the loss in Chicago the other night. And so Bowman back behind the Buffalo Sabre bench.
How was Schoenfeld's day? He wakes up in the morning, fined $5,000 for throwing a water bottle at Gregson. In the afternoon, he loses his job. Have a nice day.
Face off to the right of Murray Bannerman. Now they got to get everybody into position. 15,577 here in the arena tonight. Good crowd on hand, and apparently the Jet attendance has been up from last year. Not surprising, because the Jets certainly have not quite as much competition for the entertainment dollar as you might find in some other towns. Now the draw came to the line. Mills' shot deflects over the glass and into the crowd. I must admit, though, for the first time last night, I found a pretty decent night spot here in Winnipeg. The only downer of the thing was that a very high percentage of the women in attendance at that particular spot. Well, I guess the best way to say it is if Dale Talent still had legs like that, he'd still be playing.
I was getting worried I might be pressed into duty tonight with all these injuries. Dodged another bullet.
Here's the draw in the Hawk zone. Howard Chuck tried to center. Pass didn't get through. And Secord tries to move back. Gave it to Savard. He bounced it out to center. And then Larmer shoots it in from there. Ryan Hayward put it to the far side. O'Callahan flipped it in behind the goal, but Merwa whacks it right back into the Hawk zone. They wash off icing, so Doug Wilson has to play it. Wilson a long lead, just missing Savard. Now the race is on. Hayward had to play it to get it away from Savard. And the Jets now move back to center. Al McLean lost it as he came over the Hawk line. Doug Wilson then gave it away to Howard Chuck. Howard Chuck, a back pass for McLean. He's then tied up by Wilson, and Ludzik starts the Hawks back. Gave it to Larmer at center. His pocket is picked there. We're going to have a penalty against Ludzik. Here's Neal trying to move in. He's knocked down. And now the Hawks control. The penalty will be called. The Jets go back to the power play again. It's 1-0 Winnipeg. Back after this on Sports Vision and WBBM.
Here's big news for the new year from your Chevy dealer. Get low 7.9% financing on some of America's most popular cars and trucks. 7.9% on new Chevy Novas, Cavaliers, and four-cylinder Celebrities. 7.9% financing on new Chevy C10 pickups, K10 pickups, and El Caminos. Buy now and save hundreds of dollars in financing charges. We have the car or truck you want. But hurry, this is a limited time offer.
Now at your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealer.
After Doug Wilson coughed it up in his own zone, Steve Larmer finally got it out of his own zone, lost it to Howard Chuck, turned and hooked Howard Chuck. Howard Chuck went down. Once again, the fifth power play of the Jets. They're 0 for 4. The Hawks penalty killing and the goaltending of Murray Bannerman have kept them in the game. Those are the only two bright spots. Other than that, it's been all Winnipeg.
Here's the draw to Olczyk. Cleared it to Troy Murray at center. One man back. Murray over the line against Carlisle. His shot deflected wide. We have a penalty coming up here against the Jets. Eddie Olczyk, as he was trying to catch the play, was knocked down. Well, let's see.
Olczyk was tripped from behind. No penalty was called. He retaliated and tripped the Winnipeg player and got caught for that.
Oh, boy. That was going to be a 2-on-1 as Olczyk was catching the play.
Dumb penalties in the game against Winnipeg. The last time almost cost the Hawks the game as the Jets scored 4 power play goals, and they lost the game 5-4. Olczyk was upended, no penalty called. He retaliated, and he got caught. The Bulls are back on Sports Vision Monday. They tip off against the world champs, the LA Lakers. Jim Durham and Johnny Kerr call the shot starting at 2:30, an afternoon tilt, only on Sports Vision, Chicago's winners on cable. And a reminder, traffic, it's everyone's problem and on the mind of anyone who drives in Chicago. Barry Edwards and Herb Howard help you beat those traffic problems mornings and afternoons on WBBM AM.
This is the 7th penalty of the game against the Blackhawks, including 2 bench penalties for too many men on the ice. The Jets have had 3 penalties. But look out now. The Hawks down 1-0, and the Jets have a 2-man advantage for a minute 45. Here's Randy Carlyle clearing it to Steen over the line. Thomas Steen lost it to Troy Murray. Hey, clears it down all the way. Now Carlyle flips it to Steen. Steps into the Hawk zone, put it into the corner. Mullen back to the line for Carlyle. Now side of the net. McLean put it to Carlyle. Now lets it go. And a save by Bannerman. He holds on.
Carlyle with a shot from the top of the circle. As he let it go, there was an alley that cleared out in front of Bannerman. Bannerman had good vision and made an easy save with a glove. Carlyle into McLean. McLean back to Carlyle as Bob Murray rushes him. Carlyle, the slap shot. Bannerman, easy save in the waist-high shot. No rebound.
Face off to the right of Murray Bannerman. Now the draw. Bouncing back of the net. Dug out of there by McLean. Got it to the line, Marois. Over to the far side, Carlyle. Gave it to Marois, deep slot. Back to Randy Carlyle. He shoots, and a save by Bannerman. Rebound, Howard Chuck near side. Howard Chuck rolled it to Marois. The drive, and a save by Bannerman. Rebound! They score! Empty net goal set up beautifully by Carlyle to Howard Chuck. 2-0 Winnipeg.
Marois let a bullet go. Bannerman made the save. Howard Chuck with the puck. Dropped it to Marois. Marois let it go. Bannerman with a great save as Mullen was there. Carlyle, instead of shooting, chipped it across, and Howard Chuck buried it into the empty net. Good play by Carlyle, and Howard Chuck put it in. Almost a little chip pass. He just chipped it to him. Bannerman thought he was going to shoot. Couldn't fault Bannerman. He made an excellent save on the shot by Marois. But dumb penalties hurting the Hawks in this game.
And still a power play for Winnipeg. A minute left on the 1-man advantage. Neufeld feeding Ellett in the far corner. Got it to Steen. Now back to the net. Neufeld to Howard Chuck. Neufeld again centered one. Stolen by Brown. Got it to Gardner. Bill Gardner now carries it over the jet line. Gardner trying to walk in. Turns into the corner. And he's knocked off the puck there. Here's Marois with half a minute to go in the period. A long lead to Neufeld. Ray Neufeld over the Hawk line. Got it to Steen. Thomas Steen near side. Threw it across to Ellett. Here's a shot. Tipped right on. And a save by Bannerman as Neufeld redirected it. But Bannerman held on.
Murray Bannerman has been brilliant. Ellett, top of the circle, the shot, the wrist shot. Neufeld deflects it. Bannerman makes the save. The puck squirts in between his pads, but he's able to cover up. 32 shots on goal. The Hawks have had 7. And only one of the 7 has been a goal-scoring opportunity. We'll only have to flood one end of the ice.
The other night in Minnesota, by Roger Nielsen's count, the Hawks had only 3 scoring chances in the first 2 periods. That had been the low water mark for the year, but the Blackhawks are even struggling even more than that offensively in this game. Here's the draw. In the Hawks zone, Howard Chuck to Ellett, back to Howard Chuck near circle. The shot! He just missed the far post. It bounces back to center, and that does it for the second period. Well, Again, the second period, as was the first, was all Winnipeg. The only score, though, coming while the Jets had a two-man advantage. Dale Howard chucked the goal from Randy Carlyle, and Mario Marois at 18:55 for the only scoring of the period. The Jets had 20 shots on goal in the second period. The Blackhawks had 3. The two-period totals, Winnipeg 32 shots, Chicago 7. And that, friends, is indeed an accurate reflection of the way this game has been played. Sometimes that statistic is misleading. Not so here tonight. News, weather, and sports is coming up on the radio side. There will be a feature on television at the end of 40 frustrating minutes in Winnipeg. It's the Jets 2, the Hawks nothing.
Drop everything and come to Schomburg Toyota's Drop Everything sales event and save as never before. Schomburg Toyota is dropping prices to a crashing low, dropping prices so you can't say no. Dropping everything to give you anything you want in a new Toyota car or truck deal. So drop everything. Prices may never go lower. So drop everything and come into Schomburg Toyota, 875 Gulf Road in Schomburg.
Shop Sport Mart for holiday savings and wrap-up gift giving. It's the gift idea center for top brand sporting goods at terrific holiday savings. Get quality gifts, service, selection, and low Sport Mart prices. Tunturi keeps America fit. Step on a Tunturi ergometer and ride yourself into shape. Now only $269.87 at Sport Mart. Or climb aboard the precision rowing machine for strenuous workouts. Sport Mart price at just $199.87. Don't miss it. The holidays are closer than you think. For sports, it's Sport Mart.
We've just filled Empire's warehouse shelves with a special purchase of fine quality carpeting, and we'd like to get it all out of here and onto some nice floors where it belongs. You know our terrific deal. Prices from $6.95, including padding and installation, delivery in 72 hours, a free ski cap and telephone with any order, and now a new credit plan that gives you until next May to make an installment payment. Next May.
588-2300 Empire.
Call before all this great stuff is gone.
Winnipeg 2 and Chicago nothing in the story of this game for the Blackhawks anyway. Offensive futility and penalty killing and Murray Bannerman, the only bright lights at all.
Well, this game should be over. Winnipeg has had total control of the game. The Hawks have had 7 shots on goal. Only one to speak of, really, that was a goal-scoring threat, and that was on a power play. That was a Doug Wilson blast that Hayward made the save on, and that was the only one that he had any trouble with. Other than that, Murray Bannerman has been brilliant. 32 shots against. The Hawks still have a legitimate chance of winning, or at least getting a tie in this hockey game, and they've had one of the worst performances of the year. It's just been penalty killing and goaltending that have kept them close. The Jets are 1 for 7, and Bannerman as good a game as he's played all year.
Do the Blackhawks look tired to you? This is 6 games in 10 days. Even with the team doing as well as they have been lately, do you sense a little bit of fatigue at all?
Well, I would say that has to be a factor, as well as the injuries. They were battered quite severely against Buffalo. They won the hockey game, but they lost the battle, I thought. The Sabres really pounded them in their own rink, and it's the first time in a long time where a Hawk team has been outplayed physically, especially in their own building. And in this game, they're a step behind on every opportunity. The Jets, a good skating club, and no one's laying the body on them. To be successful against this club, you have to be physical against them because they're not that physical a club, and the Hawks are unable to do anything about it because I guess either they're tired or they're just unwilling to mix it up with them.
Well, it's amazing that the Blackhawks in 40 minutes of play have not had an offensive flurry yet, and they're still in the game. They're trailing 2-0, and one good period could rectify a lot of wrongs.
Certainly, and I'm sure they're aware of that. They've got to be very happy that it's only 2-0. This game should be over by rights, but they've got a chance. If they get the next goal, they have a good chance of tying it and maybe winning it because the Jets are probably thinking about the last game where they had the edge in play and came out on the short end of the stick, losing 5-4, again because of Murray Bannerman.
Well, the Jets have really had a tough go of it on the road so far this year, but I think you alluded to it earlier. At home, sometimes it's a very different club, and they are just flying tonight.
Well, they're given the opportunity to do that. They have good skaters. They have Howard Chuck, one of the premier players in the game today, and you can't let him freewheel and motor. Doug Smale, looking like an all-star out there tonight. He's just doing whatever he wants. He has great skating ability. Doesn't have the great moves offensively, but he looks like he could be a superstar the way he's playing tonight because he's allowed to. He's not being taken out of the play.
Well, most of the Jets are looking like superstars tonight, but Murray Bannerman has held his team in the game. It's only a 2-0 Winnipeg lead. Doug Wilson has been a steady part of the Blackhawk defense for 9 years. Not only has he won the Norris Trophy, but he's been an all-star the last 4 years. However, there is more to Doug Wilson than just hockey. We'll get a chance to find out about that with Doug and his wife, Kathy, right after these messages.
Your house could be a target for trouble, but you can keep it safer with products from True Value Hardware stores. Protect against intruders with a tough, quick-set deadlock and matching entry lock set. And with the First Alert lamp timer that remembers your normal lighting pattern. This Black & Decker smoke alarm with battery helps keep your family safe from fire, while the Balanoff Security File Box guards your important papers. They're all available at participating True Value Hardware stores and home centers.
Give me a light. No. Bud Light. If you just ask for a light beer, thanks, you never know what you'll get.
Nah, give me a light. No, Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light.
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
Deals? I don't see any deals.
The salesman said this was a deal.
Well, I want more.
Your Toyota dealer's got more. In fact, he's got deals wall-to-wall on every car, truck, and van. Toyota value wherever you look. 2- and 4-wheel drive truck deals, passenger van deals, and their performance deals, sedan deals, front-wheel drives. You've never seen this many deals. Get to your Toyota dealer now for wall-to-wall deals on great Toyota value. Who could ask for anything more?
What's it mean to you, being a Chicago Blackhawk?
Well, it's something that Kathy being from there, I think I've become part of the community, and I really enjoy Chicago. And I consider it home. I really don't go back to Canada that often, and it's 9 years now. It's hard to believe it's been that long, but I consider this home. It's a great city. It's treated me very well.
Doug, you don't wear a C, and you seem to lead by example, and you're a quiet leader. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, I think so. Our team has got several leaders. Bob Murray, Tommy Isaac, Al Seeker, and Denny Savard has been here for quite a while now. It's a strong point. We've got a lot of character. Different nights, guys will go out and do things, and the leading by example, I think, is something that is needed, especially when you play 80 games. And we go into some games where we might be injured or a little down or something, and that characteristic of our hockey team will pull us out.
Do you have a philosophy about the game when you were starting out? Have you pretty well stuck to a game plan since you started playing?
Well, I think it's the consistency thing, to play as many good games as possible without the peaks and valleys. And it's tough when you're playing 100 games a year, but you try not to get too up or down. If you're going through a tough time, you just try and keep working and get yourself out of it. If things are going real well, you try and maintain that level. And it's any player that I've looked up to, or I consider one of the great hockey players, it's a consistency factor that's made him that way.
One of your goals would be a Stanley Cup. It seems that the team's pretty close to that.
Well, we're going that direction. I think we got a lot of real good experience against Edmonton last year. My brother was on 4 Stanley Cups, so I've seen that part of the game, and that is the ultimate thrill, I think, for sports. And the city of Chicago would just go crazy if we accomplished that. And I think it would be something that would be a big thrill for me.
How did Mr. and Mrs. Wilson meet?
Well, it's funny. We were downtown one evening, and Kathy was there with a few friends. We met at a place named Jay's, and one of my friends started going out with the girl that Kathy was living with, and it started from there.
How have things changed since I've known you, anyway, since 1977 when you first came up?
Well, it's put a lot of things in different perspective, and I think I was very fortunate to meet Kathy when I did, and a little more responsibility and a little more even keel. When you're single and things like that, I think you look at things and you look at them differently. I don't think I played very good hockey at that time either, and it developed, and I'm looking forward to future years too.
How is it being married to an athlete or a hockey player? Is it tough?
No, Doug makes it very easy, really, because he's so modest and down to earth, and we have a lot of fun with it, and we enjoy it, and I go to all the games, and Lacey likes watching him on TV.
Well, how has this changed, though? Lacey, your first daughter, and only child at the moment. That's probably giving you a different perspective on life.
Well, it makes interviews very tough.
She's about 2 years old, and we're having another baby in April. So our family life has been changing lately, and it's a lot of fun.
How many children do you expect to have?
Well, we were talking about 4. Both of us are from families of 4, and you don't really see large families anymore. And after having Lacey, you see that kids are really special. It's something that has added a lot to our lives, and we're looking forward to having a large family.
What do you two do in your spare time?
Well, during the season is so long, there's so many games that when there's the off night, we really like to spend it at home with Lacey and just enjoy a quiet family home life. And during the off season, we like to travel around his Coca-Cola job, and Doug likes to golf a lot, and we like to spend a lot of times outdoors.
I spend my time with building blocks.
It's not a very quiet night at all when you stay home with Lacey, is it? Hypothetical question. You have a little boy. Say the next one's a little boy. Would you want him to be a hockey player and live the same life that you live?
I think we'd just let him play any sport he wanted to do, or get into anything, any activity, whether it be hockey or baseball or whatever. My parents were very good about that. They put no pressure on us. They let all of my brother and sisters play anything and go in the direction we wanted to.
What about prior to Doug Wilson? What was in, if you don't meet Doug Wilson and get married, what was in the future for you?
Gosh, I don't want to think about it. We've been together almost 8 years, and I don't remember not knowing him, but I was teaching 4th grade when I met him. And
I was one of her students. I had to say it.
Life is fun, Dale.
The NHL's best perform once again when the Bud Light Legends of Hockey come to the UIC Pavilion January 25th at 7:30. Blackhawks superstars Bobby Hull, Stan Mikita, and Jim Pappin take on other NHL stars led by Gordie Howe. Tickets available at the Pavilion box office, all Ticketmaster outlets, or by calling 559-1212. Also attend the Bobby Hull Benefit Roast January 24th at the Westin Hotel, sponsored by the Chicago Sun-Times. For more information, call 321-2006. Hockey's best are back. Don't miss the Bud Light Legends of Hockey.
You know, John, I was just sitting here thinking about how much I enjoy watching Babe Winkleman's Good Fishing TV series every week.
Yeah, me too, Dwayne. And I know my fishing's gotten better since I started watching Good Fishing.
Same here. Babe really knows his stuff, especially when he starts talking about catching those big walleyes. Hey, I got a bite.
Any size to it?
Yeah. John, get the net. John, get the net.
If you're like a lot of folks, the holidays left you so strapped you can't even think about new carpeting. Well, listen to Empire. If your credit's okay, we'll deliver right now, and you won't make an installment payment until May. Down, guys. Prices from $6.95, including pad and installation, 72-hour delivery, free cap on phone with any order, a little more, fellas, and no payments till May.
588-2300 Empire.
Fellas!
Winnipeg 2, Chicago nothing after 40 minutes of play here in the arena. It has been all Jets. If you joined us late, Murray Bannerman has been virtually under siege since the time that this game started, and this may be his best outing of the year. It'd be a shame if he lost it.
Well, it's a tremendous game for him, and the only reason the Hawks still have a chance of getting a point is because of this fine play. He has been just brilliant. Best game, I think, of the year for him. He's been very sharp of late. Come off a great performance against Minnesota, preserving a tie for them there, where the Blackhawks didn't have a good game against the North Stars. They ended up getting a point. Even though they did have the lead, I think they were happy to get the point. They had a great game against Buffalo, I thought. Bob Slovey was sharp, didn't have a lot of scoring chances. But in this one, all Winnipeg. And I think maybe the fatigue factor, 6 games in 10 nights, has got to be a factor. Merrill with the shot. Bannerman with a great save with Mullen in front of him. Carlisle comes in. Instead of shooting, Bannerman was ready for the shot. But no, nice play by Carlisle. Just a soft little chip shot. And Howard Chuck buries it to make it a 2-0 hockey game, while the Jets had a 2-man advantage. Howard Chuck made the pass to Marois, then he moves in. He just sort of smells where the puck's going to be. He has that great ability to know where the puck's going to go around the net. and he was in the right place at the right time on a fine feed from Carlisle.
So the Blackhawks in a 2-0 hole as they get set for the third period, but even as badly as they've been outplayed so far in this game, they certainly have a chance, particularly if they can get that next goal. We'll see how it turns out. At the end of 2, it's 2-0 Winnipeg. Back after this.
Yes, sir, Senators. Welcome to Barney's. Before a Bulls game, I like a steak at Barney's. They have one just my size.
Celebrate an Irish victory with a plate of ribs at Barney's. The sauce scores every time.
After a Bears game, it's time to bear down on a top-quality prime rib at Barney's.
A delicate guy like me can really fill up with Barney's new salad bar.
What?
For starters...
Better than ever, it's Barney's Market Club, 741 West Randolph. Free valet parking.
And don't forget the bread.
In pro sports, when you hit a slump, you seek advice from the coaches. Well, I hit a slump with bad-looking hairpieces. So baseball pal Art Howe advised me to go to the best, Hairline Creations. My Supernatural is the most secure and natural-looking hair made. And Hairlines has 3 United States patents. I flew in from California to get hair. The least you can do is call Hairline Creations, 282-5454, and end your slump of baldness. Hairline Creations, 282-5454.
Acrobatic, sensational. The new breed of Chicago Bulls are that and more. Tune in for live and exclusive coverage of Michael Jordan and the Bulls all season long on Sports Vision. Watch Chicago's amazing proponent of air travel as he takes off against the best air defenses the NBA has to offer. It's a team with a future, a team with added balance, and a team on the move. Catch the Bulls at their best, only on Sports Vision. We'll be right back with more Blackhawk hockey action on Sports Vision in just a few moments. Looking for that perfect ace? Tune to Sports Vision to catch the pace. It's the best of the women and the top men pros. Keep your eye on the ball. Watch where it goes. If you like racket sports and tennis is your game, to miss all the action would be a shame. Top spin, side spin, they've got the shots. They sure please the crowd from elders to tots. So if during the summer tennis is your thing, be sure and watch Sports Vision and get into the swing. There's only one name for Stanley Cup play. That's excitement. Sports Vision chronicles the NHL champions of recent memory with a series of shows throughout this 85-86 season. Witness the Montreal Canadiens dynasty, the rugged, hard-fighting story of the Broad Street Bullies, the graceful speed and consistency of the New York Islanders, and the new legacy of Canadian supremacy, Wayne Gretzky and the Edmonton Oilers. Sports Vision spans 3 decades of Stanley Cup champions. Relive the excitement. Stanley Cup highlights only on Sports Vision.
You're supposed to fish from inside the boat, not outside the boat. And that's the way we do it here on Jimmy Houston Outdoors, America's largest fishing show. Y'all come go fishing with us and try to stay in the boat every time you go.
Come along with Jimmy each week for the best in live-action fishing with a family approach, showing the fun side of fishing. Each week, Jimmy explains in an entertaining and down-to-earth manner all the how-tos of catching fish. Jimmy Houston Outdoors.
Be a part of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Call Mildred at 943-7000 for guaranteed playoff tickets. Pat Foley and Dale Talon back in Winnipeg. The Blackhawks have been badly outplayed, but still have a chance in the game. They're down just 2-0 as we start the third period. Here's the draw back into the Jet zone. Puck cleared, not out. A long shot. Hayward got back just in time to block that. Cleared back of the goal. Olczyk centered one. Intercepted by Turnbull. And Perry Turnbull feeds Scott Arneal over the Hawk line. Arneal to the near corner. His pass blocked and deflects into the far corner. Now taken by Steen. A shot and a save by Bannerman. Rebound taken by Olczyk. And Olczyk over the Jet line is tied up. Pulled down. We'll have a penalty coming up here against Winnipeg.
Well, what did we say when we were off the air? And definitely the Hawks are going to get a few power plays in this third period. Carlisle had Olczyk tied up. Olczyk trying to get by him. Nice dive by Olczyk, but it worked. Carlisle goes to the penalty box.
2 minutes 4 seconds. The time 35 seconds. Carlisle for 50 and 35 seconds.
Carlisle for tripping at 35 seconds. And the Blackhawks with an opportunity to get that all-important next goal. If they can get it, they'll certainly be right in the thick of things. Even though to this point of the game, the Hawks have been outshot 33-8. Bad news, Dale. Pretty soon you're going to have to start counting those shots on your toes. Here's the draw. Bob Murray rolled it along the board. Secord in the corner. Left it there. Boschman stealing. Laurie Boschman tied up by Larmer, who took it back. Larmer got it to the line. Bob Murray. Murray feeds Doug Wilson. Back to Murray, top of the circle. Rolled it to Wilson. Far side, Savard. Dennis Savard, now a long shot, and a save. Rebound. Cleared into the corner. Ellett is there. He couldn't get it out. Larmer held it in for Bob Murray on the near side. Murray centered one. Larmer put it in front. Savard. Hayward, his best save of the game, and really his only tough save. Rebound back of the goal. Taken by the Jets, and they clear it down all the way. Best scoring chance of the game for Chicago a moment ago, but Brian Hayward made the big stop. Now Keith Brown having trouble with Ron Wilson. Dropped it back into his own end, and Doug Wilson gave it to Secord. And now Brown with a minute left on the Hawk power play. Hawks shoot it in. Comes to the near side. Savard out in front for Wilson. The drive. Hayward the save. Rebound to the Jets. Cleared to center. Smale. Doug Smale racing over the line. Far side. The centering pass. Waters couldn't hang on to it, or he would have had a great chance. Now the Hawks clear it down all the way. This will be an icing call. The Jets wisely wasting a little time before they touch it. And now they do get the whistle.
Hawks finally get some offense on the power play. But Hayward comes up with two big saves, especially on Dennis Savard. Savard had the empty net on the short side. Hayward moved from his left to his right and just got a piece of it. Doug Wilson had a good shot from point-blank range. And then the Jets came right back while being short-handed. Smale, the attempted pass across to Waters. The pass didn't click, and the Hawks came back the other way.
Face off to the right of Murray Bannerman. Half a minute to go on the Hawk power play. Here's the draw. Taken by DuPont. Jerome DuPont. Cleared it to center. Keith Brown flipped it in from there. Marois goes back. Put it to the far side. Shoots it the length of the ice. Now here's Howard Chuck into the Hawk zone. Centered one. Steen. His shot blocked at the defense. As the Hawks move back, the Jet penalty over. Both teams back at full strength. Now Jerome DuPont to Bill Watson over the line. Rolled it for Olczyk. Turning, centering, intercepted at the Jet defense. And now Howard Chuck back over the Hawk line. Weaves into the slot. Howard Chuck stopping. Now moves right in. Shoot. Bannerman the save. Rebound Howard Chuck. Centered it. Waters. And scores. Tim Waters from point-blank range makes it 3-0 Winnipeg.
Two of the three goals coming from defensemen moving in from the point. No one checking them. Howard Chuck made the one move. He goes in as a step on Bob Murray. Bannerman makes a good save. Howard Chuck picks it up behind the net. Four Hawk players looking at Howard Chuck. No one picks up the defenseman. Waters moves in, lets the shot go. Bannerman screened, and the puck trickles into the net. The key here is Howard Chuck. Everyone keys on Howard Chuck, and they forget about their checks. Everyone's looking to the net. No one's looking at the point man.
Well, after the Hawks miss a power play opportunity, the Jets grab a 3-0 lead. The Hawks are in big trouble. Here's Bergevin. Flipped it in behind the net. Waters has it there. Flipped it ahead to center. Boschman. Laurie Boschman over the line. Rolled it back of the goal. Taken by Nill. Jim Nill into the near corner. Lost it to Yaremchuk. He rings it around the boards. And Waters held it in. Waters a long shot. Golfs it wide of the goal. Now in the near corner, Presley wants to freeze it. Can't do it. Jets jam it free. Now they wrestle on the boards, then Smale dug it out. Center one, Nil. Nil was wide open, but shot it wide. And the Hawks get it back to center ice. Ludwig shooting it in. Peter Taglianetti is back. Gave it to Nil on right wing. Jim Nil flips it into the Chicago zone. Doug Wilson back. Long feed to Gardner at center. And then his pass is intercepted. Taken by Steen, who shot it in. Goes to the far side. Gardner clearing to Patterson at center. His feed for Lysiak, and he was in ahead of the play. Early in the third period, the Jets 3, the Blackhawks nothing. Back after this on Sports Vision and WBBM.
The NHL's best perform once again when the Bud Light Legends of Hockey come to the UIC Pavilion January 25th at 7:30. Blackhawk superstars Bobby Hull, Stan Mikita, and Jim Pappin take on other NHL stars led by Gordie Howe. Tickets available at the Pavilion box office, all Ticketmaster outlets, or by calling 559-1212. Also attend the Bobby Hull Benefit Roast January 24th at the Westin Hotel, sponsored by the Chicago Sun-Times. For more information, call 321-2006. Hockey's best are back. Don't miss the Bud Light Legends of Hockey.
Face-off coming here at center ice. And the draw taken by the Jets. Ron Wilson bumped at center, but Martin carries on. Here's Martin over the Hawk line centering, and that pass intercepted by Rick Patterson. Got it to center. Now Doug Wilson over the line, shoots, blocks at the defense. Ron Wilson got it to Neufeld, and he rolled it out to center ice. Jack O'Callahan has it there. O'Callahan flipping it into the Jet zone. Dave Ellett going back. Put it to the near side. Tom Martin couldn't get it out. Over to the far board it goes. Rick Patterson chopped it into the corner. Ellett has it there. Lost it to Lysiak for Bill Gardner. Centering one. Martin stealing, and he shot it to the center ice area. The race is on. Neufeld hustling after it. Comes over the Hawk line, waiting for some help. Didn't have any, so he shot it in deep. Doug Wilson now shoots it to center. Dennis Savard. Savard now weaving over the Jet line. Savard bumped off the puck, but Brown into the corner. Centered one. Threw to the far side. DuPont for blast. And a rebound. Chopped over the net by Secord. Savard near side. Left it for Brown. A long shot blocked at the defense. And here come the Jets back. Brian Mullen feeding McLean over the line, but he's tied up by DuPont nicely. And Bannerman put it to the near side. Now Steve Larmer into the Jet zone. Rolled it to Savard. Dropped it for DuPont. Here's the shot. He missed the net. Rebound Larmer. Had it poked away by Howardchuk. Dale Howardchuk to Brian Mullen into the Hog zone. Mullen put it to the corner. McLean. And his pass is intercepted by Chicago's Larmer. Steve Larmer weaving to center. He shovels it in as the Hawks change on the move. Marois back. Mario Marois cleared it to Jim Nill. Nill for Boschman. Here's a drive. Blocked by Bergevin out in front. And taken by Bill Watson. Watson shot it into the Jet zone. Taken by Nill. And he cleared it to center. Here's Laurie Boschman, 2-on-1. He moves in. Boschman now the shot. And a save by Bannerman. Rebound controlled by Troy Murray. Murray feeding Watson. Bill Watson over the line to Olczyk. Tried to walk in front, couldn't do it as Waters picked his pocket and shot it into the Hog zone. Now Olczyk moving in, but the Hawks are offside on the play. 12.5 to go. It's 3-0 Winnipeg. Back in a moment on Sports Vision and WBBM.
Today's Chevrolet is a little import called Spectrum, a spectacular combination of fun and practicality. We call it
Spectrumality. Solid. Spectrumality.
Price.
Spectrumality. Room. Spectrumality.
Technology.
Spectrumality. Spirit. Spectrumality.
Economy and more, all part of the new Chevy Spectrum, a spectacular combination of fun and practicality called
Spectrumality. Live today, Chevy. Chevy.
The big trade we mentioned earlier, sending Dave Babbage to Hartford for Ray Neufeld. The fellow you just saw was the last guy to know about it. Barry Long was taken by surprise when informed by the media about the trade made by GM John Ferguson. But tonight, things all going in a positive way for Winnipeg. Here's Turnbull over the Hawk line. Get around it. Check, moves and shoots. Bannerman, a sliding save as Turnbull beat O'Callahan. Now, Doug Wilson put it to the near side. Held in by Campbell. Wade Campbell got it to Turnbull, but his pass stolen by Ludzik. Steve Ludzik for Presley, a two-line pass, stops the play.
I can't recall a body check being thrown in this hockey game by the Blackhawks. A lot of stick checking, a lot of peeling off. Guy makes a play, they're not finishing off the checks, they're just peeling away. And that's why they're catching back into the play and getting some scoring opportunities. It's 3-0, it should be about 7-0.
Neufeld and Secord get the elbows raised as they lined up for a draw. And everybody gathers around. Talking with John Ferguson about the big trade that he made. The big thing he pointed out was he felt like he needed a tough right winger, a hard-nosed forward, which Neufeld is. And as you might imagine, the things that Ferguson does are designed to make his team better competition for the Edmonton Oilers. And in talking to him between periods tonight, several times he mentioned the word toughness, and apparently he feels, of course, that's the way he played, and he must feel that that may be the answer to trying to get the Jets over the hump against the two-time Stanley Cup champion Edmonton Oilers.
They better make the playoffs first.
Now here's a steal by Howard-Chuck. The race is on. Howard-Chuck over the line, stopping, shooting. Bannerman got a piece of that. Rebound taken by Larmer. Steve Larmer ahead to Savard. Savard over the line. Secord offside on the play. Murray Bannerman has resembled General Custer tonight. He has been under siege. Hey, where'd all those Indians come from?
Dale Howard-Chuck with a great chance. Dennis Savard going off on a change. His 19-game scoring streak in jeopardy here.
There's the draw. Laurie Boschman clearing it into the Hog zone. Bannerman out to play it to the near side. Now flip behind the Hawk goal. Bannerman will try the far side this time. Olczyk has it there. Shot it to the Jet zone. Andy Carlisle poked it back of the net to Waters. And he flipped it down into the Chicago end. Taken by Bob Murray. Now Bergevin. Mark Bergevin clearing it out to center ice. Bouncing around there. Bergevin after it again. Had it poked away by Smale, who shot it in deep. Jack O'Callahan back for Chicago. Feeds Troy Murray to center. Murray over the Jet line for Olczyk. He dropped it for Yaremchuk, moving in, shoot. Not much on the shot. Hayward the save. Rebound Yaremchuk on the near side. Gave it away to Arneal. And Scott Arneal now pushed it down into the Hog zone. We're halfway through the third period. The Jets leading 3-0 as Doug Wilson moves over the line. Dropped it for Lysiak, centered one. Bounced away from Wilson in front. And the puck cleared, but not out. Held in by Presley. Centering. That pass intercepted, and Turnbull bounced it out to the center ice area. Here's Scott Arneal to the Hawk zone. Arneal waiting for a little help, but he forgot the puck. Now Turnbull carries on, moving back of the net. Watson picked his pocket, and Bill Watson, who grew up just about 80 miles from here, cleared it to Lysiak over the line. Lysiak got for Brown, a shot, and a save by Hayward. Rebound back to center ice. Jets shoot it in from there.
Come on.
Taken by DuPont. Now to Brown. He got it to center. DuPont, a long shot, blocked at the defense. Taken by Carlisle. And it's cleared out to center ice. Steve Larmer over the line for Savard. Savard, center one, a shot. Big save by Hayward on Larmer. Brilliant save by Brian Hayward, who smells a shutout tonight. And the Jets shoot it down for icing. It's Winnipeg 3, Chicago 0. Back to the arena after this on Sports Vision and WBBM.
These days, it's easy to save money with the True Value Day circular from True Value Hardware Stores. In it, you'll find this rust-proof Taylor window thermometer for just $2. And men's or ladies' Avon driving gloves for only $2.99 a pair. This Snap-it battery tester with an easy-to-read meter is just $4.99. And the adjustable Wallace clip-on gooseneck lamp is only $4.99. In the True Value Day circular from participating True Value Hardware Stores and home centers.
To Savard. Savard breaking in on the right side at the hash marks. The pass back to Larmer. Larmer with a neat deflection. Hayward anticipating well, moving to his right, robs Larmer of the first Blackhawk goal. Prior to that, he made a big save on a Keith Brown shot after he received a drop pass from Tom Lysiak.
Now the draw in the Jet zone. Troy Murray jammed it free to Olczyk, centering Brown. The drive. Hayward the save. Rebound cleared up over the glass and into the crowd.
Section 31, row 23, C1. Congratulations.
Ryan Hayward, who entered the game with a goals against of 5.29, is looking for his first shutout of the year. It would be just the second of his career. Here's the draw. Taken by Ellett, back of the net. Gave it to Boschman. He chopped it out to center. Smale racing over the line. Cut for the net. Smale, the shot. And a save. Rebound. And DuPont dug it out of there. Bannerman may be shaken up. And the Hawks able to clear to center ice. Bannerman just now getting back to his feet. And very slowly at that. He's going to be exhausted by the time this game is over. Here's Bart Bergevin moving out to center ice. Lost it there. But Troy Murray carries on. Murray over the line. His pass bounced free back to center ice. Now the Jets, Doug Smale. Clearing to center, Thomas Steen shoots it in. There's Mark Bergevin. The lead for Ludzik over the line. Feeding Lysiak. His shot blocked right in front. Bergevin whacked it wide. Rebound. Presley. And the save. Rebound again. Hits the post. And it's covered up by Hayward. Wayne Presley had two chances. Hayward stopped one. The goal post stopped another. 7.5 to go. 3-0 Winnipeg. Back after this on Sports Vision and WBBM.
If you just ask for a light beer,
I'll have a light.
You never know what you'll get.
That's me packing the car. Best vacation ever. Here's Rock City, Texas, L.A., all in 3 days.
Bud Light.
Here I am in Death Valley. That's me looking for water.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste,
Wait, there's more.
ask for Bud Light, because everything else
Give me a light.
is just a light.
That's me packing the car. Best vacation.
take 10 for identification. This is Chicago Blackhawk hockey.
You'll see the White Sox, the Bulls, the Blackhawks, and the Sting here on Sports Vision.
There's the draw. Cleared to the far side in the jet zone. Presley held it in and centered, but Waters is there to steal. Then Waters shot it to center ice. Here's Presley, who has a 4-game scoring streak. He comes over the line for O'Callahan, who's knocked down. There to the far side, Ludzik to Doug Wilson. Here's a long shot. That sails well wide. Lysiak holding it in. Shoveled it to Presley. Presley in the corner tied up. Now Carlisle took it away to Turnbull. He couldn't get it out, though. Bouncing around along the boards, Turnbull came up with it and cleared it to center. Scott Arneal now flipped it into the Hawk zone. Taken by O'Callahan. He got it to Ludzik. Steve Ludzik shoveled it in. And now the Jets. McLean able to clear it out to center ice. Mullen has it there. And Mullen shoots it in. On the near side, Steve Larmer sending Savard to center. He hits the line. Savard on the far side. Here's the drive. He shot it up off the glass. Rebound, Howard Chuck. Dale Howard Chuck into the Hawk zone. Now the shot blocked at the defense. Taken by Secord. His pass intercepted at center ice. And Marois flipped it to Mullen over the line. He fires. Hits the side of the net. Rebound, DuPont whacks it out to center. 5.5 minutes to go as the Jets clear it back into the Hog zone. Here's Brown. Heath Brown lost it to Smale. He moves it with a chance. Smale the shot. Bannerman the save. Rebound taken by Nill. Jim Nill in the corner. Now shoveled it in front. Carlisle the drive. Missed the net by several feet. Held in by Waters to the corner. Centering a shot. Bannerman! Point blank save. And somebody give that guy a rest with a score. 3-0 Winnipeg. Back after this on Sports Vision and WBBM.
What would I do if I won $1 million? I'd go to Africa, and I'd lead safaris, and I'd swing on the vines just like the little monkeys, and I'd track wild animals, and I'd go in the bush after the big jungle cats, and I'd scare giant snakes out of their skins by staring them right in their beady little old eyes, and I'd ride pachyderms with great white tusks, and I'd make Tarzan calls, too.
With $1 million, you can do practically anything you want. So play Moneymaker Instant Lottery.
Murray Bannerman, a very busy man. A great save on Smale from in close.
Face off to the left of Bannerman. Now the draw, taken by Wade. Campbell, he tees it up, but his shot is blocked. Campbell again into the slot, shooting. Ooh, he just missed the near post with that. Rebound to O'Callahan. Jack O'Callahan to Mark Bergevin. He works it out to center ice. Now shoveled it in. Jim Nill to the corner, lost it to Watson. Bill Watson to the near side. O'Callahan centered one. That hit escaped Olchek. He fired it wide. Rebound to Carlisle. And he cleared it to center ice. Jack O'Callahan shooting it in. Randy Carlisle back of the goal, put it to the far side. Bergevin knocked it back of the net for Troy Murray, but he's tied up. And Carlisle flipped it into the Chicago zone. 4 minutes left to go. Now here come the Jets in. Scott Arneal, a bouncing puck, centered a shot. They shot! Harry Turnbull off a Winnipeg 2-on-1 break. Makes it 4-0 Jets.
passed across, and Turnbull slipped it under. It appeared to me that Steen batted the puck down with his glove in the neutral zone, and he advanced it to Arneal. No whistle, and a fourth goal for the Jets.
Barry Turnbull, who has spent the better part of the last 2 games on the bench, puts a little icing on the cake here for Winnipeg. Arneal and Steen get the assist at 16:02. Is out off the Hog bench. I wonder if Bannerman may be cramping up again. You could certainly figure that that's a possibility with the kind of workload he's had to shoulder tonight. And while Skip Thayer has a look, we'll take a time out. This is the Blackhawks trailing badly to the Jets 4-0. Back in a moment on Sports Vision and WBBM.
This bud's for all that you do.
Carlos, I need 100 of these by Friday.
My friend, I'm retired. My son is running the business now.
You know just where you're going. It's true, your pride is showing, cause you make America work, and this bud's for you.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
Here's the draw shot into the Jet zone. Secord on the far side, centered one. That's intercepted by Ellett. And he shot it into the Hog zone. Murray Bannerman remaining in goal for Chicago. Now an icing call. Ruled against Winnipeg on a somewhat of a late call. So the draw comes back into the Jet end. Blackhawks are back on home ice on Sunday night. The Detroit Red Wings will be in town. Radio only for that game. We'll be on the air at 7:20 on BBM with the pregame show. And that is Coca-Cola poster night, with posters given out to everybody of this year's Blackhawk team. Face off to the left of Hayward. Here's the draw to Carlisle. Randy Carlisle now having a little trouble. Able to clear it away to Waters. And Tim Waters couldn't get it out. Here's Lysiak moving to the near side. Flipped it into the corner. Ludzik. Steve Ludzik centered one to the far side. Bergevin. Back of the goal for Ludzik. Ludzik tied up. Lysiak in to help. Trying to jam it loose, but Waters came up with it. Couldn't get it out. O'Callahan bumped along the boards. Came into the corner, Ludzik. Steve Ludzik trying to center one. Carlisle stole that, a penalty coming up here against Winnipeg. And the Blackhawks will have a final power play chance to finally dent the scoreboard.
Rory Boschman for holding on Steve Ludzik. Ludzik with a spinorama move in the corner, eluded him, and then was held from behind. Tomorrow on Sports Vision, college basketball tripleheader. At 1 o'clock, Oklahoma State tips off against Kansas. Immediately following that game, it's another Big 8 clash. Iowa State takes on the University of Oklahoma. And later at 7:30, Central Michigan travels to DeKalb to take on the Northern Illinois Huskies. All this and more tomorrow on Sports Vision. And a reminder, keep in touch with the best places in town to eat and what movies to see with Sherman Kaplan's Restaurant and Movie Reviews on News Radio 78 WBBM AM.
Blackhawks trailing 4-0 with 3 minutes to go in the game, and Hawks have a power play. This may be Savard's last chance to extend his scoring streak, currently at 19. Here's the draw to Bob Murray. Near side to Larmer. Side of the goal. Secord is up. He scores! There goes the shutout. Al Secord stuffed it in from the near side. And Ryan Hayward came within 2 minutes and 55 seconds of shutting out the Blackhawks.
The Hawks win the draw. Goes back to Bob Murray at the right point. Gets it into Larmer on the near side. Larmer to Secord. Secord at the left of the goaltender, moves on his forehand and beats him from a bad angle through the legs to break the shutout bid by Hayward.
Chicago goal is 21st of the season, scored by number 20, Al Secord.
21st goal of the year for Al Secord. Now let's see. Blackhawks are challenging the stick being used by Brian Hayward. I've seen plenty of skaters' sticks challenged for having too much curve on it. They may be even measuring the size of the blade, but this is the first time I've seen a goaltender stick being challenged. So referee Hogarth has the measuring device out. And it looks like it is an illegal stick.
Good call by the Hawks. Somebody noticed something irregular with that stick. Might have been Bob Solvay on the bench. Now what's he going to use for other stick? The other stick is probably the same thing. Keep giving him penalties till he runs out of sticks. Maybe put a broom, give him a broom. Hawks still with a breath of air, trailing 4-1 with 2:55 remaining. Get another power play opportunity.
It probably took this long for the Hawks to notice his stick because he never had to make any saves until this third period.
They weren't anywhere near him for 40 minutes.
Bouchard, the backup goaltender for Winnipeg, is running back to the locker room. It looks like he's going to have to get possibly one of his sticks.
You've got your little pocket knife here to whittle one away before. But they took out his other stick, but his backup stick is the same stick. So he probably has to go and use one of Bouchard's sticks. Goaltenders use different lies.
Dan Bouchard back near the... I think Bouchard might be I think he might be shaving down one of Hayward's sticks. That's what he's doing. It's exactly what he's doing. Shaving down one of the spare sticks of Brian Hayward in order to make it legal. I didn't know you had to be a carpenter to be a backup goaltender.
Are very adept with the rasp and the saw. They order custom-made sticks, but they always have to doctor them. Well, 3 out of every dozen are the way you want them. Most of the time you add a little here and take a little off there. Stan Mikita used to go through so many sticks. Use one every period. He'd probably go through 3 or 4 a game.
Jets have had to take their 30-second timeout in order to avoid a delay of game penalty. And still Dan Bouchard continues to hack away, trying to get a backup stick for Hayward in proper order.
With the break of the action, with the timeout by Winnipeg, and a wise move by Winnipeg because they would have gotten a delay of game penalty and they would have been 2 men short. 42 Winnipeg shots, 18 Blackhawk shots. It's a 4-1 Jet lead. And the only reason the score is respectable, Murray Bannerman has been tremendous in the net. After 2 periods of play, he faced 32 shots and the score was only 2-0. So Murray Bannerman is our Anheuser-Busch player of the game.
Finally, Brian Hayward has a stick that's been whittled down to proper size, and now we get back to the play. The Hawks still with a power play. Here's the draw to Bob Murray deep in his own end. Gave it to Doug Wilson. Wilson ahead to Al Secord. He shoots it in. Comes to the near side, Larmer. Steve Larmer for Savard in the corner. Dennis Savard gave it back to Larmer. Now he centered one, deflecting to Savard. Centered it. Secord couldn't get the wood on that. Bob Murray held it in, but his pass intercepted by Ellett. Now he's tied up. Larmer took it away. For Savard in behind. Savard feeds Doug Wilson at the line. And then his pass deflects off his skate to center. The race is on. Smale had it, but had it knocked away as he came into the Hog zone. There's Doug Wilson moving over the jet line to Larmer. Larmer whacked it into the corner. Secord now moves back to the net. Gave it to Savard, far side. Dennis Savard to Secord, side of the net. Centered Larmer. Big save by Hayward. Rebound, scramble. Jets clear it away. Back to center ice. 45 seconds for the Hawk power play. Doug Wilson puts Savard over the line. Left it for Secord. He had it knocked away. And the Jets wasting a little time with Boschman, and then he shoots it down all the way. Now Bannerman gave it away, centering pass for Boschman, and it bounced away from him. Taken by O'Callahan. 20 seconds for the Hawk power play as it shot into the Jet zone. On the far side, here's Olczyk along the boards. He's bumped off the puck. Jets clear it down all the way. And we have 1 minute left to go in the game. O'Callahan shoots it in. As he does, the Jet penalty over. Both teams at full strength. In the far corner, Troy Murray. Murray tied up along the boards. Ron Wilson took it away. Wilson over the Hawk line to Smale. He centered one. Wilson rolled it to the side of the net. Now Lysiak tries to start back. His pass stolen by the Jets over the line. Here's a 3-on-0. McLean moving in, centered it. They score! O'Callahan, I think, tipped it into his own net. And the Blackhawks now trail 5-1. That's about as bad a line change as you're ever going to see.
The 3-0 break in the chains. O'Callahan collided with Doug Wilson. Lysiak trying to pass it across, was intercepted by McLean. Jet players, they had to hold up to prevent from going offside. O'Callahan hustles back, tries to break up the pass across that hits the stick and goes past Murray Bannerman. McLean gets the 5th Jet goal. It's a 5-1 hockey game with only 27 seconds remaining. And the Jets definitely deserve the win. A solid performance on their part.
There's the draw. The Jets shoot it in. Bergevin. His pass intercepted. Here's a blast. Bannerman the take. Rebound. And he covers it up. With 11 seconds to go, Dale Howardchuk had a good opportunity, and Bannerman yet another fine save.
Just what Bannerman needed after a busy night from point-blank range. Bergevin with an ill-advised pass up the middle. Howardchuk intercepts, and Howardchuk has got a goal and an assist in this game. Could have had 4 or 5 goals if not for that man, Murray Bannerman.
Here's the draw. Bergevin back of the net. Gave it to Yaremchuk at center. He moves over the line. Here's a shot. Hayward the save, and this game mercifully comes to an end. Now, Brian Hayward came within a couple of minutes of getting a shutout. Well, the Jets in the third period had a 2-0 lead coming in. Tim Waters added to it from Howardchuk and McLean at 3:03. Then Perry Turnbull from Arneal and Steen at 16:02 to make it a 4-0 Jet lead. The Blackhawks got what was to be their only goal on the power play. Secord's 21st from Larmer and Bob Murray at 17:05. And then Paul McLean finished the scoring unassisted at 19:33. Shots on goal in the final period. The Jets had 12. The Blackhawks had 14. And your game total, Winnipeg 44 shots, Chicago with 21. Final score, Jets 5, Hawks 1. We'll wrap it up in a moment.
I'll give you one of these nice new ski caps if you'll just call Empire and order some new carpeting. Oh, you get some other nice things, too. You get a free telephone. You get prices from $6.95 installed, including polyfoam padding. You get delivery in 72 hours, and now with your good credit, you get no installment payments until next May. Call us. Our carpeting will warm your feet, our cap will warm your head, and your call will warm my heart.
588-2300-M5.
So call right now.
This lot's full of trucks, Chris, but I don't see any deals. Here's one. One? I was expecting more.
Your Toyota dealer's got more. Truck deals wall to wall. A big selection is in stock now during Toyota's wall-to-wall deals. 4x, extra cabs, long beds, 12 models with automatic transmission. And during wall-to-wall deals, prices are automatically negotiable on every van and car, too. Don't miss making your wall-to-wall deal now at your Toyota dealer. Who could ask for anything more?
This game has been brought to you in part by Michelob. The way you work, the way you play. You're on your way to the top. Where you're going, it's exceptionally smooth Michelob. And by Toyota. Compare. It's Toyota, not the other guys. See your Chicagoland Toyota dealers. And by True Value. The more you've got to do, the more you need True Value hardware stores. We've got what it takes. And by Chevrolet and your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. And by the Illinois State Lottery. A lot of people have already won millions playing Lotto. You could be next. Lotto, it's a big deal. And by Mr. Submarine and RC Cola. You'll go out of your way to capture the taste of a Mr. Submarine and RC Cola. And by today's Chevrolet, who invite you to live the style, performance, and fun of Chevrolet in '86.
Well, over the last 4 or 5 weeks, the Chicago Blackhawks have been playing outstanding hockey. This tonight is just the third loss in the last 16 games for Chicago. But the first word that comes to mind when you have to describe this game, I can only say the Blackhawks had a feeble outing. I didn't think there was any hitting and really virtually no scoring chances till the final period.
Well, they had scoring chances when it was 3-0. There was a 2-0 hockey game after 2 periods. The Jets totally dominated. The Blackhawks had 7 shots on goal in the first 2 periods and only one that was really a goal-scoring threat in the first 2 periods. It was all Winnipeg. The Hawks took some silly penalties. Murray Bannerman kept them in the game, and so did their penalty killing. The penalty killing was great, and so was Murray Bannerman. The reason that was only 2-0 after 2 periods of play could have been a much greater score. But the Hawks had a chance to come out and get the next goal. If they had gotten that first goal in the 3rd period, it might have been a different story. But no, they gave up a goal early in the 3rd period, made it 3-0, a 4-0 goal game for Winnipeg later. And then they had some chances in the middle when it was 3 and 4-0. Hayward came up with some big stops, but they scored on a power play goal, made it 4-1. Called an illegal stick penalty on Hayward, trying to get another power play goal to get back within 2, but that didn't work because their power play was ineffective as well. And then late in the game, McLean on an unassisted goal to put the icing on the cake. But Winnipeg totally deserved the win. They outplayed the Hawks in every department. The Hawks, without any hitting, they didn't play a physical game at all, and they just didn't seem to be involved from the opening whistle.
Well, the Jets certainly did thoroughly dominate this hockey game tonight. The Blackhawks will maintain a 3-point lead over the idle St. Louis Blues on top of the Norris Division standings. And now the Blackhawks are 3 games over the 500 mark, 21 wins, 18 losses, and 5 ties now, as the Hawks will try to regroup and get back into the swing of things on Sunday night as the Detroit Red Wings come into Chicago Stadium. That may be just what the doctor ordered, because the Hawks have dominated Detroit so far this year, and you got to figure that through the course of an 80-game season, there are going to be a few stinkers, and this was one of them.
Well, definitely, but also 6 games in 10 nights. I think maybe they were a little bit tired. Plus, they were injury-riddled as well. A lot of minor injuries out there tonight because of the physical play of the Buffalo Sabres in a hard-fought game the other night. They weren't very physical in that game, the Hawks, and they certainly weren't physical at all in this one, and that was the difference. Against Winnipeg, you can't get into a skating game with them. They do have an